get started on our first game. We've had a little break ourselves. So, Dan, I'm paused at 11 seconds if you can catch up to there.
Right at 11. Now?
Okay, yep. All right, let's
3,
get started.
2, 1, go.
All right. Thank you, guys, for joining us to see our first game of Week 2 as Best UK Mid from the University of Leicester take on Life Path 8 from the University of Birmingham. Life Path are our featured team, so we know lots of fun facts about them. But let's get this first game underway as Life Path on the Warpath heading out into the river early on.
Yeah, not sure if the Zaya's looking here.
Is going to make the catch, forcing out the flash, looking for that first blood, and Birmingham have done it. Going out the gates, swinging, and first blood going to land onto the mid laner. Feast or Famine starting out right.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, great to get this kill onto the Zoe early. I think you have to respect invades coming from a team with a Braum and an Olaf. Obviously, if you land a Q from either, it's pretty hard to get away. Flash came out too late, so nice invade from Life Path 8. Gives them a bit of an advantage to start the game off, which will help them out. Looks like Olaf is going to start on the blue buff, and Elise is going to be on the other side, which is fairly standard, so nothing too crazy there.
We know from talking with Life Path before, and yes, as you point out in Chamber Select, which you can kind of guess from the team name as well, the top and jungle of Life Path are somewhat attached at the hip. So we should surely expect to see a lot of action heading up the top side. The two melees going up against some pretty fierce competition from Best UK Mid.
Yeah, I think it's not just in their play style being, you know, a duo together, but just the matchup as well. Jax into Camille is a very snowbally matchup. If either gets a lead, it's going to be pretty huge for the rest of the game. So probably our featured matchup for this game. See a bit of it there. Jax using the using his dodge to try and get a stun, but doesn't manage to.
In the early going, at least, a little bit of a CS disparity. In the very opening moments, we'll see if they end up evening out as this game does go on. We know that certainly Life Path prefer to play a more scaling style down the bottom lane, so we're not expecting anything too crazy from them. And with the Tam Kench, the anti-playmaker, on the other side of the equation, I think that's only going to amplify what we'd already expected coming in.
Yeah, I think that's sort of most situations having a AD carry without a flash might get punished early, but by having a Tom Kench, he can essentially provide a flash for your AD carry by eating and flashing. So I doubt the bot lane's going to be too volatile unless you see a gank coming in. Just have to see how the jungler's pathing. At least it is starting to get some control on the bot side here, getting some vision and actually moving into Life Path 8's jungle. Unfortunately, nothing is up, so won't be able to take anything away, but just puts down some wards, get some vision, and stun does come out of Jax, get a bit of a trade-off, but nothing too crazy. And as you can see, both junglers have sort of gone on opposing sides. At least comes in bot.
Nice stun landing down, but the shield up in time. This time for Life Path, as the trading gets pretty fierce up on the top side. Hyvalana, yeah, actually taming off pretty badly for that one, and Hyvalana is nearby though. If maybe this could be a play in progress in the mid though. The first blood recipient gonna be in a little bit of trouble here. Flash across makes the catch. The military sign comes out. Flash in return. Life Path hold on to their unblemished record so far.
Yeah, so flash trades mid. Not a huge deal for Exodus, but I think this is the issue of not going cleanse here. Can get punished very easily by Elise and Rise. Bit of a misstep in synergy there, because obviously Trilipi on the Elise used all of his damage before Rise was there, so maybe just need something they need to work on, but still, get the pressure out. Zoe just manages to sustain up, as had health bot, so not a huge deal.
Alright, so, Orcs, what are we kind of looking for here in the early game? Are there any of these lanes which were kind of, have got the potential to really blow up?
Top lane, absolutely. Top lane's an interesting matchup because Jax was originally, when Camille was released, Jax picked as a counter because the whole thing with Camille was you jump on someone and lock them in. But Jax's point was, you know, you're locked in here with me. You can dodge the auto attacks, put some damage back into it. But seems like someone saving this Camille's actually getting a bit of advantage. And the thing is, if you get a lead on this Camille, you will absolutely decimate Jax. So definitely our matchup to watch. You can see Wyvern is actually coming top. This wave is pushing in, so...
Wyvern are going to try and save from that big CS deficit. Someone save me, able to save themselves this time around, also dodging out the axe, able to easily get away from that attempted gank.
Yeah, so it makes sense to come here to try and help out the Jax when there's a big wave pushing in, and a good time to gank, but fortunately not able to do too much against the Camille with all the mobility, so this wave's just going to get shoved in and crash, and at least it's actually coming to the top side to assist.
Yes, I think perhaps best UK mid from Leicester, a little bit tired of that constant top lane attention flash taken away from Hyvalana. No tower dive at least at this stage, but we have got Beely in the area. Hasn't quite got the level 6 to be able to make the massive plays yet though.
So Olaf's actually no mana here, so this could be bad for Life Path 8.
Treleep coming in and really pushing out. It's actually best UK mid really taking possession of the upper half of the map. Double recall for Life Path means they have no presence up there whatsoever.
Yeah, and Hyvenler's going to have to TP here. It does come out. Huge wave. He would have missed there if he didn't burn his TP. So as much as they didn't get a kill there, they got a lot of pressure. And I would actually like to see the Camille save her TP. Has the time to walk up. And potentially can look for a play bot with that TP. But remains to be seen if that'll be the decision.
Exodus, no flash right now. For a second there, I was looking at the map, seeing them caught between multiple members of Best UK Mid. They're able to get out this time round. Kidman getting absolutely clobbered down the bottom side. Nice play there. Paddle Star from Exodus, able to land this time around. So much damage. And I think Beely will have to avoid a few more of those if they want to stay in lane.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with Zoe, is you can throw 6 Paddle Stars and only hit 1, and that's enough to knock someone out of lane. Beely does have his cleanse up, which means he can switch it to TP if he has to go back, so not a huge issue, but does want to try and keep the lane pressure so he can roam with his Realm Warp when he gets a chance.
One of the places I'd love to see a roam happen would be down the bottom side. Kidman's so low at the moment, such great potential there for a play in progress, but up in the top side it looks like that's where we're going to find the action. Treleep coming in, going to try and add to that lockdown, the Hextech ultimatum. Hyvalana too late with the ult, or at least not enough to deny the double damage from Best UK Mid.
Absolutely, and this is a really good read from the top and jungle coming out from Best UK Mid. They used the pressure to force Hyvalana TP, and now he's got no TP. He's just died to the Camille, and he's going to fall even further behind because he won't be able to pick up the wave. So, getting a huge advantage in the snowbally matchup, really going to pay off and be a problem in the split push later for Life Path 8. So, interesting to see how they're going to deal with this.
I think it's a very good thing for Life Path. They did make that early play and did get that early first blood with 4 assists as well. Managing to at least keep the gold even for now, despite having CS disparities in every single lane.
Yeah, big factor in that though, they do have actually Kleptomancy on the Jax. Going for a play mid.
Wow! Exodus showing some of that aggression, which has earned them their Feast or Famine reputation. Not going to land this time around. You have to think, I mean, as we saw Beely getting hit by that Paddle Star, as the game goes on, it feels like Exodus is going to have to work harder and harder to actually land these skills. Speaking of, the bubble comes up just in time to keep Exodus safe, or maybe not safe enough. Stopwatch coming out, Exodus does have a chance to get away. No, they won't manage it. Killed under the tower. Treleep, though, locks themselves in place. Realm Warp coming out. No invincibility this time, but it's still enough to save the mid laner of Best UK Mid.
Yeah, good movement from the bot lane, coming out from Life Path 8 just to redeem that play. Exodus getting caught out, decided to ult instead of using the flash. Probably wouldn't have survived anyway, so maybe good to save it, but trading 1-for-1, not too bad in this situation. And we have said, although the gold looks even, both Jax and Ezreal have Kleptomancy, which is going to help to make up what would normally be a gold deficit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if we look at the total gold, you're right, they are pretty even. Only about 300 gold separating High Vanilla and Someone Save Me up on the top side. We've looking through the summoner spells. Someone Save Me still has that teleport available if they are able to drive High Vanilla away from lane and maybe make a play somewhere else on the map.
Yeah, something I would like to see is maybe just let's go in for trade top lane. Nothing much will come for it though. I think something I would like to see is maybe more use of this of the Camille TP and bot, because I think if you get the numbers, Camille's going to lock the bot lane in place. I mean, Ezreal's not going to be able to do much if he's locked in the tunnel, so Maybe would have liked to see that TP advantage used. Still have about 30 seconds left, but looks like Tom Kench is actually coming up to the top side here.
Yeah, the roaming potential of the Frog as High Vanilla gonna be in a whole lot of trouble. The slipperiness of the Jax, I think, somewhat comparable to Someone Save Me Camille, able to get himself out of trouble, but an interesting move from Best UK Mid to send the support up on the roam.
Yeah, I think using the spell book well here, he switched to TP, so it really doesn't matter that he's topside. Xayah's not at much risk of being dived with a roll and both some, so... And as well, the TP would come into cover. Looks like Camille's going in on the top lane again.
Yeah, Someone Save Me, and High Vanilla going into a death battle. High Vanilla maybe a little bit too far away. Nice jump away to stop that from getting any further. As we're seeing a lot of time being spent from Rowe. Flash in, and the save, the Devour from Rowe, makes it almost impossible to get those plays to stick.
Yeah, a few misplays there from both sides. The Q not landing from Tom Kench. And then Flash and the old burn from the side of Life Path 8. Didn't see those as being massively necessary and bit of a waste, but no kills for either side, so not a huge deal. And Xayah is able to pick up that wave pop, but they actually go for a play mid.
Yeah, Beely getting chased away. Nice roam from the side of Life Path 8 now, seeming to realize that this is going to be a very all-over-the-map kind of game. Trueshot Barrage able to get a little bit of the minion health off, but it is Trick Source, the AD carry for Best UK Mid, getting some real quality time to smash down and maybe start pushing towards that first tower gold.
Yeah, massive advantage quite here, and I think when you have the roam in mid, in terms of this rise, it's going to help you out a lot. All you have to do is get that rise to move down, take that tower.
Up in the top, Someone Save Me, starting to fall a little bit behind. The Sheen completed for High Vanilla now to allow for those enhanced trades. Only Phage for Someone Save Me, so maybe a little bit of a respite from the battering High Vanilla's been taking in the early going.
Yeah, Someone Save Me doesn't actually have his TP here, and he's decided to recall to make up for that item deficit. We'll miss a few CS here, and it gives TP advantage. Like, I think Drowsy comes on to Beely.
I don't know if they're going to be able to make the play stick, but Philippe in the jungle getting chased down. The incredibly agile Elise nearly locked down and taken out by Wyvern, forced to flash away. It's so rare we're seeing an Olaf in the jungle, but it's working out relatively well so far.
They're actually going to jump onto the Camille here.
Nice, the stun comes through. Someone Save Me, though, able to tumble away across the wall. Still, the blue buff goes into the hands of Life Path 8. Starting to seem a little bit more confident as we crest the 12-minute mark.
Yeah, I think this is a key thing with this matchup is Elise has a very strong, a lot of power pre-6. Obviously having her ultimate for any other champion. But once Olaf gets his ult, it's really easy for him to run her down. If he catches her in her own jungle like there, the only real option with repel is to repel to a camp or to the person who's attacking you, so not really a great escape. And Chilipi does have to burn the flash to get away and loses blue buff as a result, so this Olaf pick doing well. And they're actually going to come in top, look for this dive on the Camille.
Someone Save Me could be in a bit of trouble here. The stun comes out, the damage pouring through. Hextech Ultimatum will not manage to lock down the Vanillas under the tower. And that will be the second kill coming through for the Olaf jungle. Impressive stuff.
Yeah, did really well there. Just drop the aggro on the Olaf and switch it over. And then they backed off, respecting the rise come. Elise goes in.
Stun comes out. High Vanilla goes down incredibly low. The stun is going to land just a little bit too late, but Treleep not going to get the chance to follow up on that damage. With those 2 kills under High Vanilla's belt, though, those axes are still taking pretty big chunks out of the members of Best UK Mid when they do hit.
Yeah, the Olaf's got a warrior build here. Going to help him clear and give him a lot more power early. Probably not the standard Olaf build, even though we don't see Olaf jungle that much. But I think he's taking advantage of the fact he is snowballing and he wants to make this game his own. He is also the shot caller for the team, so really leading a lot of these plays with 100% kill participation. Trying to be the carry for Life Path 8.
It's working out pretty darn well so far, as the scaling continues for Life Path down on the bottom side. Got that Sheen and the tier for Kidman starting to get some of the power, and we saw that in a little trade just then. Best UK Mid have been able to do as they please, but that time may be coming to an end.
So yeah, and I feel like Life Path 8, aggressive trade comes in top. Ult popped
Nice
by the
cancel
Jack.
out there. Someone Save Me though does still have the shield. Ult popped by High Vanilla. That's a big cooldown. I think anticipating a much bigger fight, but Someone Save Me tricking them.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with this matchup is Camille really decides to fight. If she wants to commit, she will with her ult. If she doesn't want to commit, she can dash away. High Vanilla saw getting his ult baited out from there. There's a lot in these 1v1s, so probably won't want to look for a fight anytime soon.
Treleep down the bottom side does land the stun. Viper comes out with the shield, blocking access to his AD carry. Keeps him safe for the time being. Keeps the growth alive down the bottom side. We've also got Beely, so I don't know where we see best UK mid go next.
Yeah, actually being in the flash there on Ezreal, not sure if that was necessary with the Braum covering, but... And wow, you're seeing some more interesting...
Oh, nice catch there. The last bit of damage for Someone Save Me? No, not going to be there. Not sure what happened to the Paddle Star down the bottom.
Just misconnected there, I think.
Best UK mid are going to take that first tower gold, making the Romans stick through. Beely going to be chasing down Kidman, forced to burn the heal and running away. Teleport coming in from High Vanilla, but maybe not the best choice, as they're going to have to just run away. Possession of the bottom side going entirely to best UK mid.
Yeah, so finally getting that play out from the Rise, using the Realm Warp to move in and making this play. They're now going to look to take this dragon. Ocean Drake, one of the stronger earlier dragons. It is 16 minutes and lane of face has sort of ended. It's not going to be huge, but good to get it off the map. Looks like High Vanilla won't really be able to get in here and contest this.
Still in the area, but yes, nothing in the end. High Vanilla is there as well. The rest of the life path coming out towards the bottom side, but going to be way too late to make a difference there. In the mid lane, oh my god, look at that damage coming out of Exodus. But in the bottom, High Vanilla going to get caught out, forced to drop the ult to shrug off the crowd control. The rest of the team are there as backup, maybe trying to draw out the teleport. They do so successfully. High Vanilla going down very low, forced to flash away. Viprune has to burn the ult to keep the team up. Hextech Ultimatum comes out, locks Viprune in place, desperately trying to get away. The tankiness of the Braum keep him up for the moment. Stopwatch comes out. We've got High Vanilla coming in from the side. The health bar's looking low. True Barrage goes wide though. Trick Source down very low for the rest of the best UK mid team. The Leicester students coming out to help each other, and no kills will be rewarded.
Gotta be careful here. Zoe's still a very big threat and has a flash picked up.
Oh, nice sleepy bubble trouble goes across the wall. Someone Save Me down very, very low. High Vanilla thinking about going for a future play. Oh, and the bubble does hit. One more shot. High Vanilla finally finds their mark.
Zoe just excelling here. Just perfect situation. A lot of walls for the fire over, and best UK mid weren't able to disengage after that fight.
High Vanilla's not done. Exodus steals away another kill. They do get the route onto High Vanilla, but the double kill lands onto Exodus. The Feast or Famine starting to really kick off. High Vanilla getting some time with the mid lane turret. Caught under it though, decides to go head to head with Treleep. Takes a tower aggro, gets hit multiple times, but gets the kill! Somehow, someway, Life Path are salvaging every situation, and they will be rewarded handsomely.
And this mid jungle is just work. Oh, Rise is going to roll him up in.
High Vanilla able to walk that one away as the towers start to fall in favour of Life Path from Birmingham, picking up that bottom to complement the top, taking the gold lead firmly in the place of Life Path.
Yeah, they're starting to snowball really well. The Olaf getting so many plays here, so strong, and has gone for the damage build. Like I said, more traditionally in competitive play, tend to go for a full tank build with a Cinderhulk, but has gone for more AD here, and they are going on the Rise.
Beely down low, but not gonna get caught this time round. I'm just every moment now, I'm just tense, waiting for a paddle star to come out of nowhere and nail most likely Beely, who, for all fairness to Beely, on the Rise, doing pretty well so far in the game. A very healthy CS lead, as well as having not taken a single death despite being the focus of attention multiple times from Life Path.
Yeah, I mean, their team name is Best UK Mid, so Billy obviously wants to show that, but X is doing a lot of work on this Zoe pick. Picked up very early, and obviously is such a very contested pick. He's making it work. 3-1-2, highest kill participation team, and Gonna keep looking for plays here, keep looking for one-shots when he gets the chance.
Now we've got to a bit to the later part of the game. Lanes, of course, starting to really lose their relevance. We've got Best UK Mid up on the top side trying to secure that outer tower as the brawling in the mid, of course, continues. But LifePath have brought a few of their own members to maybe put a kibosh on any thoughts of stealing away more towers. Viperoon getting chewed out.
Yeah, so LifePath, they just got the 80 carry sitting on the bottom side of the map and farming up. Might be an issue if Camille gets on top of him, but for now, it's fine for them. They are just wanting to get a bit more gold on Ezreal. He is trying to finish off his mirror mana. Get his 2-item spike. That is one thing to note, is that although Ezreal has a very strong 2-item spike, Xayah will be stronger when she gets to 3 items, when she gets a crit, so LifePath, they definitely want to capitalize on this early lead into the mid game and try and get some major objectives from that. Tensi the Baron.
We're really starting to see some of those major items coming in. Triforces for both of the top lanes to really enhance up on that damage. Still a big presence from Best UK Mid. They're forcing through the play. Viperoon going down very low. High Vanilla trying to body block for the support. The rest of the team coming at True Shot Barrage goes wide. Multiple members trying to make sure this top lane goes firmly in one team's grasp, or the other. Viperoon, the only one there directly. Damage coming through. Hyman goes through, gets consumed though. No, sorry, it wasn't even them. It was Treleaf who got pulled out of the fight. Kill goes across to Beely, but the tower still stands for now.
Yeah, they managed to defend, and this is actually an interesting switch up from LifePath 8. Oh, did you go for the play top?
Wow, we just saw Exodus getting locked in place there. You have to think if that happens in the middle of a big team fight, that's gonna be it. Oh my god! Rogue somehow murders
just oversteps on low HP and gets punished for it, so bit overconfident there. Didn't really pay attention to how low he was on HP and gets punished. And as I was saying, it's a bit of an interesting mix-up. Olaf has gone for a static Shiv, a very 1v1 split push focused build, and they've actually put him against the Camille. So, might be an issue with Baron being up, but at the moment seems to be doing fine.
We have got another dragon coming in just 20 seconds time. Let's take a quick glance across and see what it's going to be. It's going to be a Cloud Drake. Already, Best UK Mid able to secure their first Drake of the game, just as a reward for a fight won in the bottom side. But now more of the map open up, more opportunities to make the plays and make the catches, more importantly.
Yeah, something I definitely like to see is if LifePath 8 do keep their jungler on the bot side, could look for a pick into a Baron. Seems like they'll probably move their jungler up to the top side of the map with Baron being up, but they are starting up this dragon. Again, Cloud Drake not the best, maybe not the hugest dragon to fight over. And it looks like Best UK Mid are just going to give it up, which makes sense. Not worth losing the game off a Cloud Drake. Next Drake will be an Ocean, so another low priority Drake. I don't think either team are going to be too focused on them.
Best UK Mid once more, moving as a unit towards the next tower on the list. High Vanilla, though, up on the side, going head-to-head with Treleaf and absolutely tearing them up, forcing out the flash. True Shot Barrage anticipating, but not going to be rewarded this time round. But High Vanilla's starting to really step up.
Yeah, starting to get his damage items, and at least really struggling at this point in the game. Does fall off pretty hard, and is 3 levels behind the Olaf, so not a great position to really do much to anyone. Let's at least pick needs to make things happen early, and it just hasn't really happened here. The Olaf doing a lot more.
Orcs, I mean, yeah, just look at those numbers. Why Vanilla? I mean, some of this is going to be from the laning, but when you've got... Oh, never mind all that, actually, because we've got a lot of trouble coming. Kidsman Way locked in place. No Tam Kench to bring them out of trouble. The force of the play from Best UK Mid will reward with the mid laner as well. Exodus going down. Nice double route comes through. Will we see LifePath commit back in? They've got the Olaf, but he's not got any tankiness to speak of. Almost an entire team like Viperoon, the only survivor.
Yeah, really well played from Best UK Mid. They went for the aggressive play. They saw that LifePath 8 were a bit disjointed, and they just killed one target at a time. Really easy. Using a Camille ult to lock the Ezreal in. And this is the issue with this full damage Olaf. Yes, it does a lot of damage. Yes, it killed the Xayah very quickly, but got absolutely destroyed trying to run through the team there. So, not really too much of a front line on LifePath 8.
And best UK mid are gonna pick up this Baron, so...
Oh, nearly taken out. Someone saved me.
I mean, that's got to be massively disappointing. From what seemed like a very even game, suddenly Best UK mid pull the trigger and just tear through Life Path. What do you think of Life Path deciding to go, to go back in after the team fight was already going so poorly?
I think this is just the Olaf sort of overestimated himself. He is very fed, very far ahead, but in a team fight, a build like this isn't going to do much. I think they had the idea to make him split push against the Camille, which is fair, but I mean, if you're going to build like this, you can't look to team fight, especially when you're a couple members down. See Trouble lands on this. Oh!
Oh my god! Sorry about that, guys, if that shocked any of you, but it certainly shocked me. Exodus, I mean, as much as, this is what we expected from the start of the game. Exodus 4 and 3, getting caught out by the crowd control, but also making these incredible plays as well, all in the same game.
It's just you, it's going to buy a lot of time.
Bubble trouble for Ro. It's going to be pursued by multiple members. There's no safety to be found. Flash across the wall. The bubble lands once more. No great health because they are stunned and they are out of there. That's going to be Life Path getting a nice numbers advantage.
Yeah, and in a situation where Best UK mid, they had a goal advantage, had the Baron there. Don't look messy here, getting caught out by this Zoe.
Viperoon gets a little chunk down. We've still got those Baroned up minions to help defend for Best UK mid, if not make a push for themselves. Hivener was forced to to teleport up to that top lane to answer the push around there. But for the moment, Life Path more or less in control.
Yeah, and they have decided to go. They're going to sort of a 1-3-1 direction with the Olaf split pushing. Does have a lot of damage, but this Rai shreds him.
Absolutely. Not able to stand up at all. I've never seen anything like the build on this. Olaf, once more, Kidman going to be pursued. You have to think that the rest of Life Path are so aware of how vulnerable Kidman is if they're caught all on their own.
Something to note,
Beely here, I mean, the team is called Best UK Mid, and he is now Flame Horizoned Exodus and has a 100 CS lead. Highest level in the game at 16. This Rise is a problem.
Massively so. Building up, kind of stacked up to that Archangels as well. Look at the fully stacked Rod of Ages. Going to continue to be a massive problem for side of Life Path. I mean, if you're Life Path in the situation, how do you deal with Rise that's that powerful?
I think you don't. I think the real answer is to keep doing what they're doing, keep looking for these picks from the Zoe, because I feel like if you try to get on top of this Rise, he's got his Summoner spells, he's a bit bruisery, he's got the shield from his Seraphs, he's just going to decimate you, so look for picks on someone else on the team.
Speaking of, we've got High Vanilla going in, gets the stun. Not going to force it through, but we have got this mid tower as well as top. Oh my god, look how much damage White Vanilla is taking from Beely in the mid. It's looking like Life Path might have trouble defending this turret. Do at least clear out the minion wave to buy themselves a little bit of time to work with.
Yeah, and the Barons have just fired now, so it was really solid from Life Path 8 to buy them that time. So the Baron doesn't give much use to Best UK mid, but this 1-3-1 from them is extremely strong. The Olaf just can't stand up to this Rise, so looks like he might come mid and look for a fight here.
Turret will finally fall. Flash in, drops down the Fisher, but Ro is there to try and drag him out. Unfortunately, going to be slowed down by multiple sources. Ro going to surely give their life for their team, keeping the one to get the kill, and another comes through. Trixos does take out Viper, but not before going down themselves. The bubble lands, and Beely too late to the party.
Yeah, and I guess Beely just didn't get there in time. They just managed to run down the Tom and the Zaya, and this is the issue with this composition. You have the Ezreal slows, you have the Braum slows, you have the Olaf slows. Once they hit one, it's really difficult to get away, and Life Path are going to push up mid here, looking to get this inner tower and potentially more.
Someone say me was at least able to get a tower for Best UK mid, a massive problem. Split pushing, we've still got Death Timers left. Will we see Birmingham go for more? I think perhaps they want to just turn back and pick up this Ocean Drake. A little less risky of a proposition, perhaps.
Yeah, nice pickup, especially as it gets later in the game. This will be the last Drake before Elder, so getting a second helps out if you get that buff later on. 2 buffs is a Nice 180 damage burn if you do manage to put the Elder Drake.
Oh, wait a second. Oh my god. Exodus gonna be going on a very long journey indeed. That 45-second death timer gonna cost Life Path big time. I think a bit of a miscalculation there. And now we're seeing Best UK Mid trying to punish as much as possible. White Vanilla getting caught in place, forced to use the ult, forced to use the flash, trying desperately to get away. And Treleep gets some revenge, destroying White Vanilla where they stand.
Exodus just caught sleeping there. Life Path, they need to be more careful. They managed to get the Drake, but they didn't respect the fact that Best UK Mid could test them. And they're now pushing down mid with 4. And Ezreal, not the best AD carry for wave clear. Only 1 minion this wave, but the next one's going to be a problem for them.
That will be tower number 6 going down for Life Path. Now forced back on to those inhibitor towers. Of course, Best UK Mid going to try and force down this if they can. Got a little bit of time to work with while White Vanilla is down and out of commission. Ult comes out while Someone Save Me is able to get a lot of damage on the bottom as well. Inhibitor tower will go down, but I think Someone Save Me will finally fall down. Inhibitor still stands for Life Path.
Bit of an overstep from Best UK Mid. Trixor's dying without using sums or his ult, so bit of a mistake. Tom Kench being down, haven't saved Beely. Life Path, they need to get some control around Baron here. Need to push up, get the vision control, and look to secure this objective while they still have a numbers advantage. Looks like Best UK Mid are just going to back off here, so they could actually look to rush this Baron. They have a lot of damage with this full damage roll off here.
There's a lot, yeah, there's a huge opportunity here. High Vanilla does have the teleport to get back into position. Someone Save Me still down for another 10 seconds or so. Baron are coming up right now. Will we see Life Path pull the trigger? The Baron pings are coming out. It looks like it's going to be get back in this game or get caught.
Yeah, GP comes in from the Camille and ult from the Tom Kench, so all of Best UK Mid will be here. Baron and 2.5k.
Exodus burns the flash off screen. This is going to be dicey. It will go across through Life Path, but what's it going to cost them? Hextech ultimatum comes out. Kidman gets across the wall and stays alive. Of course, the person who will not stay alive is White Vanilla, but still, Life Path get out with more or less what they wanted.
Yeah, came out favorably here. I mean, this Olaf, although he said he struggles in team fights being this squishy, if you don't kill him quickly, he will decimate your team. Trixor's getting knocked extremely low, and they will have the numbers advantage here, so they're probably going to look to get an inhibitor or 2 here, but Life Path 8 come out with a Baron. Aren't doing too badly considering how much they were struggling earlier.
They have got multiple members to try and defend, but of course we've got Exodus pumping out the damage. Does land the bubble, but going to be saved by Ro this time round. Inhibitor not taking the damage that perhaps Best UK Mid would like, able to get a few seconds in, just enough before they exit the base.
So managed to secure just the 1 inhibitor while they have the numbers advantage. It's Rise on so many items now. Only got his Rabadons left to go, got the Void Staff, and in comparison, Zoe only on 3. Does have the Rabadons now, but difference in CS has led to a 3k gold lead. So despite the Zoe doing so much work, is really struggling to do as much as this Rise can. And you can see earlier when the Rise only one-shot here, how much impact, how much damage he has.
Life Path trying to take this opportunity while Best UK Mid are regrouping to get some time in on the bottom side, but the minions not really there to support them as we get. That Baron buff, of course, going to help out with the pushing. But they'll need some minions to enhance. Catch there onto Exodus, nearly goes down. High Vanilla getting chewed on the outside of that one, but White Vanilla in the mid going to try and provide a little bit of extra attention grabbing.
Yeah, not sure if the Camille can actually 1v1 this Olaf. He is higher level. Might be a bit risky, but I think she's going to look to clear the way for the Tiamat.
Life Path get what they came for, managing to at least get some of that standing gold back into their pocket. Inhibitor, of course, does remain down for the time being. I'm curious to see if White Vanilla and High Vanilla will be able to get anything more, or if there's too much coming forward from Best UK Mid.
Looks like White Vanilla is just going to keep going for this split push roll, so I think it's a decent idea. You're not really going to be able to team fight that well on this tank Olaf, so
Does seem like Life Path are going to have a fairly big presence in the mid, but White Vanilla about to get round warped on. The crowd control comes out and, oh my god, White Vanilla just explodes.
Absolutely. And
This is a problem, split push on this Olaf. If you do get realm upped on, if the Camille does jump on you, he gets absolutely shredded in just a couple of seconds. You know, this build did well from early, getting a lead, doing a lot of damage, but at this point in the game, I'm not sure how much an AD carry Olaf is going to be able to do against a Ryze, against a Xayah, who now has her 3 crit items, and is going to be able to shred through them in just a few autos.
Also, for Trick Source, got that QSS to be able to make sure they don't get bubbled away, as the Elder is on the cards 25 seconds before it comes up. As you mentioned before, Life Path have the small advantage, that one little extra elemental Drake that will make the Elder even more valuable for them. But of course, Best UK Mid have nothing to keep them from responding in force.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Best UK Mid aren't going to be looking for the Dragon, they're going to be looking for the fight. They want Life Path 8 to contest them, they want to take a team fight and win the game off it. So, starting to clear their vision around here. White Vanilla is coming from base, and I don't think they want to give this one up for free. Scuttle Crab is in place, so not going to be able to clear out all the vision yet. Just going to posture.
Yes.
Hypermoon trying to push up. Beely is there to zone.
Life Path with all their members in the area apart from Kidman get assigned to a little bit of wave clearing duty. The inhibitor is still down. Play coming through. Jump away from White Vanilla. Flash comes through. Hextech Ultimatum coming out. Someone save me. Chewing down through White Vanilla, but able to just about get out. Olaf diving through the team. It gets blown up before they can do too much of anything. High and White Vanilla both going down. The catch lands on to Exodus. They've been murdered. Somebody save me. Someone save me even, coming in from the back, and Rowe cutting off the escape along with Beely. We could be looking at a clean ace here, and the kills pouring out. Nothing to keep. Best UK Mid from pummeling into the base. Leicester, I think, have done enough, and they're going to claim our first victory of the night.
absolutely. About to finish the game here. Super Minion's already there. Ults come into the fountain, and they will close out the game. I think it was not actually that bad a fight starting off for Life Path 8. Bit of an overstretch from the Camille. Have to flash land the ult on the Jax, but Beely was just so strong, putting out so much damage, and no one could really touch him from the side of Life Path 8. So he just absolutely decimated everyone on the team when he rooted them. And they do come out with the victory. First one off the night.
Alright guys, we have got 2 more games coming before we are done for the evening. The Bar Spartans and Hertfordshire Blue. We will bring you that in just a second. But for now, please do stay tuned and we'll be back soon.
pinball. Turbo mode enabled. Turbo mode enabled. Let's play pinball. Pinball. Turbo mode enabled. 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 Pinball. Turbo mode enabled. Turbo mode enabled. Let's play pinball. Pinball.
Don't look back. I know you feel like you're losing track. I know your heart bleeds. Don't lose your mind. Just let it be, let it be. I know you're dying inside. I know it gets harder. Days get longer. But close your eyes. It's gonna be alright. I know it gets harder. And days get longer. But close your eyes. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright.
Welcome back, everyone, to the NUEL National Championships. We are in week number 2 and now game number 2. Orcs joining me for the first game, which I think is fair to describe as fairly insane. As Life Path, our first featured team, lost out to Best UK Mid. Orcs,
Yeah,
any thoughts on that one?
It was a very, very back and forth game. My key highlights was the Olaf going full crit, which started off well, and then further we got in the game, kind of started to struggle. MVP was Beely from Best UK Mid, playing mid, which would make sense, with a 180 CS lead on the opponent on Rise, and just absolutely dominated later in the game, and came up and managed to clean up the rest of the game, and so really solid performance from him. But an interesting game nonetheless, very back and forth, and hopefully looking to see something like that this round as well. Always like those games where you can't really tell the outcome.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's literally the first time in my whole life that I've seen crit Olaf going through. I really wanted it to work, but unfortunately not this time around. But hey, that's all in the past. Now we've got our second featured team, the Bath Spartans, as you may be able to guess, from the University of Bath, going up against, hey, it's Soggy from the University of Kent. We have to try and figure out how we're going to say that team name during the game, because that's one of the more unusual ones.
I do believe the Bath Spartans are from Bath Spa, not the Uni of Bath.
Well, good thing I've changed that before we get started.
Yeah, got to be careful. I think they'll take insult to that.
Yes, you are very much correct. The name is the biggest clue we need. I think we should be getting started in a second. Yes.
Yeah, they've just said it in the chat. Yeah, they take it very personally. There's a bit of beef between Bath Spa and Uni of Bath, so a bit of friendly competition, I'd say. So it'll be interesting to see if when those unis match up against each other. But right now, we are going to this game where they're matching up against It's Soggy, which is also the name of one of their players from the University of Kent.
We know that the Bath Spartans, headed up by BSU Frost, I guess it would be fair to call the team captain an extremely confident player. We've had the Bath Spartans had a little bit of a shaky first week despite this confidence, though, and have switched things around quite dramatically, sending their, I believe, a couple of the different players to different positions, so we'll see how well that works out, as Zoe, the first one to hit the bench, certainly was impactful last time around, but Swain, the ban out from the University of Kent.
Yeah, I've seen Swain snowball pretty heavily. Obviously, not many people. It hasn't been played that much new on this patch, so could be a decent ban if you're just a bit worried, don't know what you're up against when you're coming against that champ, if you haven't had much practice in solo queue or in scrim. So I think it's a safe ban to go for. Camille ban coming out, we saw that first pick last game, so makes quite a bit of sense, especially since Frost does want to be the carry in this team, so maybe just wants to make sure he gets a good matchup. Lulu pick ban coming in. I think this makes sense because there is 2 supports. I'm not sure based on the name which one we're running for Bath Spartans, but they did seem to, one of them did tend to favor champions like Sona, so Lulu being another shield support to sort of provide for your AD carry.
I believe Ham Sandwiches 11 is... yes, I think the Bath Spartans have actually got quite a wide pool of substitutes, so we'll have to reserve judgment a little bit on the seeing who's going where, because they've got a lot of variety in their roster. Twitch will be the last ban out from Soggy before we go back across to the Bath Spartans to see what they'll go for first.
Both teams not wanting to play against these crit hyper carry AD carries, so particularly in this meta we've seen longer games, we've seen them get drawn out, so not want to deal with that. And the Brawn pickup's going to come from Bath Spartans to start off. Really solid pick and quite easy to play. I'm not sure if this is their main support, their second support, their third support, but I feel like Braum's going to be good in anyone's hands. It's now over to It's Soggy, hovering over this is Zia. Really solid pick with a lot of damage output.
Well, we know that for the side of the Bath Spartans, certainly in the bottom lane, they like to play much more, a very conservative style. I have to imagine the Braum's going to have some facility there, as Zia and Jax locked in for the side of a Soggy. Really like to see the Azir getting towards the mid lane.
Yeah, so Azir, solid pick to come out, and has actually been counter picked by with a Zed, so that is traditionally a counter pick, but Zed not being seen as much recently because he's a bit weaker. Lethality items did get nerfed earlier in the season, actually in the pre-season. And so, but they are looking to snowball here. They've gone with Lucian as well, which is something that the AD carry does favour, and obviously works well with the Braum. So going for a very much an early game comp here against the likes of the Azir and the Jinx. Going to struggle if the game ends up going longer, but this Jinx is going to be really vulnerable against a composition like that.
Yeah, it seems like a very bold choice from the University of Kent to get into the second ban phase. First ban going to be that Jace. We know that certainly Frost has been known for playing some pretty effective carry top laners in the past. University of Kent apparently scouting that one out.
Yeah, I'd like to see Bad Spartans get rid of supports here. They picked the Jinx, they don't have a support for it, so maybe get rid of something like a Tom Kench that's going to provide a lot of safety. Do actually end up banning away the Fiddlesticks. Bit of an interesting one, might be some information we don't know, but guess we won't be seeing the spooky guy himself today.
It's a shame. I think the fact that they banned it raises the possibility that he could have actually come out, which is, yes, enough to make me a little bit sad in and of itself. Last ban from the side of Soggy will be the Cho'Gath, another top lane ban coming out. As well as predicted, the Spartans taking away the Tam Kench, going to hit that bottom lane a little bit. But it looks like the response pick will be something we weren't quite expecting, the Nami coming out instead.
Yeah, a bit of a risky pick here because Nami traditionally doesn't do too well into Braum. He can block your ult, and against the likes of a Zed and a Lucian, they are very, very quick, very dashy, and hard to pin down. If a Zed does get on top of your Jinx, it's going to be difficult to peel off as a Nami, but it does give a lot of laning power to the Jinx, so having a range support matchup into the Braum and Lucian if they don't get engaged on will be able to punish. And Gnar coming out for Frost, so very strong champion in this meta. Really able to bully out the enemy top laner, but I do think this Jax is going to be in the jungle. We have seen him more in the jungle recently. Last game it actually went top, but leaves it open for Soggy to counter pick here.
We've still got to see the jungle pick coming out for the Spartans, and it will be most appropriately Jarvan the Fourth. We talked about early game Paladin on the bottom, now the Spartans are adding another string to that bow.
Yeah, and they're actually going to bring out the Gangplank here, which is really quite odd to me. Gangplank does offer a lot of scaling, but into Gnar, the matchup, it's decent. It's not like as bad as it used to be, but I've seen Gnars, if they get ahead, can do a lot of work into the Gangplank. The Gangplank will do well if he scales, but I feel like the issue here is you picked 3 scaling lanes on this side of Soggy, and I feel like all the pressure is going to go over to Bas Spartans. That being said, Bas Spartans do lack AP, and they aren't going to scale nowhere near as well as Soggy. And so really, I mean, it's pretty simple how the game needs to go. Bas Spartans need to come out strong, they need to get an early lead and capitalize off that, and Soggy need to get items and scale, and both teams have got pretty obvious win conditions.
But it worked out pretty well last time round for Life Path 8 to go for a level 1 invade, got themselves the first blood and a whole bunch of assists. I'm curious to see what kind of risks the Bas Spartans will take in the early going to try and get that early advantage.
Yeah, I think the huge thing is going to come around the jungler. I mean, you have Gnar's going to have pressure over Gangplank early. Zed is he's not going to have too much pressure on his Zed. He's going to be able to shove in him early, but Zed will be able to shove out when he gets a bit later on, and will be able to roam. And I feel like you just, as the job, and you want to sort of just push in, facilitate your laners, provide vision for them, stop the Jax from doing anything, and then you have aggressive lanes that are going to want to make plays. Zed wants to get to level 6 and kill the Azir. Lucian and Braum are going to want to engage on the enemy immobile bot lane, and Gnar wants to bully this Gangplank. So I think all he needs to do is really facilitate and just look for opportunities to gank. And it's going to be difficult, honestly, for Soggy to avoid this early pressure, because I don't really see where the options are going to come from unless Jax looks for counter ganks. Because, I mean, the thing with Jarvan is all his damage and all his CC and all his mobility is locked into his combo. If you engage with this combo and you don't kill the enemy, whoever you're ganking, Jax can just come in, and Jax is someone who has huge sustained damage, gets the attack speed from his passive, W on a short cooldown, so that's a good way that I can see Soggy to punish in the early to mid game. But other than that, they're just going to be holding out until they get some more items.
All right, for any of you guys, just before we get started, for any of you guys who are tuning into the stream for the first time, wondering what's going on, you're watching the NUEL League of Legends Spring Championship. We're in our second week of regional leagues. There will be 4 weeks of regional leagues, which the teams will play 3 games each night, trying to get up to the top of the tables in the two divisions, North and South, to eventually end up in the group stages starting on the 18th of March. So every single game, tremendously important. And with it being Swiss style as well, the more you win, the tougher your opponents become.
Yeah, and I think Bath Spartans did struggle a bit last week going 1 and 2, so maybe Soggy not the strongest team that we've seen in all of NUEL. But, you know, they've picked this comp, they picked the scaling comp, and they obviously want to bring it to Bath Spartans. Bath Spartans needing this win if they want to establish themselves as one of the stronger teams in the league. So both teams playing for it all.
So we can confirm some of those changes from the Bath Spartan side of things. So Frost, known for their top lane play before, now in the mid. We're seeing Buttermilk Bjork, who was previously their mid laner, down towards the AD carry position. Have been told that the Bath Spartans have been scrimming with this new arrangement to try and change their fortunes from week 1, as you said, Orcs, not having the strongest of week 1s, but apparently their scrims have been extremely successful. And it makes me wonder if this particular composition is something they've been specifically practicing.
Yeah, I mean, I think this composition seems like it was a bit niche and it was a bit dependent on what the other team was going to bring out. I think particularly the Zed, I wouldn't think you would pick Zed in many situations other than into the Zia, but I think it very much sends a message of playing an aggressive early game composition and putting a lot into the hands of Frost in the mid lane, who, as he said himself, is one of the stronger players in the team, is someone who wants to carry, and they've put him on a champion here who is very feast or famine. If the Zed gets rolling, he's going to be able to decimate the other team. No true tank on the other side. But, you know, if he falls behind, he's going to be rendered a bit useless.
All right, once we get into the game, Orcs will just get paused up at the 10-second mark again, just to smooth out the viewing experience for everyone. So don't be alarmed, guys, if you hear some game sounds. You're not going to be missing anything. We're just making sure everything's in place to make sure we don't get any stuttering during the game itself. All right, so Orcs, you've kind of sort of illustrated this whole idea that we've got, you've got the Spartans with this early game, we've got Soggy with the late. Where do you kind of feel like the break point between the two lies?
I think it all depends on how much of a lead comes over to the Bath Spartans early. You know, if they get a huge lead, it's just going to delay how long, how many items Soggy need to catch up. But honestly, the big spikes are going to be times like when Azir gets his core items and the Zhonya's, sort of makes him harder to punish, but also output a lot of damage with his presumably getting a Nash's Tooth and then maybe an item like a Leandri's, and then Jinx on Jinx's 3-item spikes is huge. Not sure what build Lucian's going to go here. His crit build did get buffed recently. Looks like Sog is actually going to burn his flash here, playing it very safely because there was a threat from the Braum, but not entirely sure he needed a flash there. I think he could have been covered by his team.
Orcs, if you could jump back to the 10 seconds again. Sorry, maybe I didn't.
Oh, right. Sorry, I just let it play. My bad.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm at 10 seconds.
All right, let's count in 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah, my bad.
It's okay. All right, let's get things underway for our second game of the second week. Bath Spartans going to be our highlighted team here, of course, with all the fun little factoids about them. But it's Soggy, 2 teams here looking to try and raise their status, climb the table, and maybe put themselves in contention for one of those playoff spots.
And it's Soggy taking it a bit dangerous here.
Yep, yeah, there we go. The flash which you very well predicted before the game even began. Yes, that's what we're going with.
Gonna really be difficult for Soggy now because it's gonna make it a really easy gank for the Jarvan here. And I feel like he didn't necessarily need to flash. His team could have moved in front and covered him, but played it safe. But now is in a situation where the Zed is going to be able to punish because Jarvan Zed coming mid. It's going to be very difficult to avoid a gank.
Alright, just going to do a bit of the old rearrangement to make sure everything's in the right place for you guys as we get things underway. Please do let us know in the chat whether you're a supporter of the Spartans or the Soggy ones from Kent.
Yeah, and if you're a supporter of the Soggy ones, you definitely wanting this to be a longer game. The further it's going to get into it, the stronger it is going to be for this 8 Soggy side who have very strong scaling comp. Both teams starting on the bot side of the map. Jack's going to pick up his red, and Jarvan going. Jack's going to pick up his blue, and Jarvan going for his red. One thing that is huge here is that can actually take the red buff as Jarvan and go for a level 2 gank, and it looks like he's gonna go for this, but is spotted by a ward that was placed mid early.
That's very wise ward placement from Soggy, able to walk away from that, which is... Orcs, if that ward hadn't been there, would you have expected to have seen first blood at 2 minutes?
100%. He would have died there. I mean, if you don't expect it, the Jarvan can combo and then use his flash as well, and then the Zed flashes on you. You just no chance of surviving that. So good heads up play. He knows he's in a difficult position being down his flash, and he plays respectfully and uses his ward to cover him.
Alright, so let's take a look down at the bottom side as Butterful Bjorg getting aggressive in the early going. Azrael, okay, you're going to take a little bit of a battering, but of course, sustained advantage will lie with the Soggy ones down at the bottom.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a miscommunication there. I feel like maybe this is because they've rearranged their players. Bot lane not too used to playing with each other. Clearly Buttermilk wanted to go aggressive, but Braum actually leveling his shield. Would have wanted to see him level his W so he can jump in, apply the passive sooner, and might have got a bit more there, but either way, they do have the pressure advantage.
Buttermilk did take a lot of damage, though, during that exchange. It makes me wonder how aggressive the boss will still be able to be down on the bottom side.
Yeah, this is one of the big issues with this lane, is that if you do get a chance to punish Nami and Jinx, they'll die. But if you fail to really get any summoners... Oh, fight gun on top.
Well, you talked about that Jarvan power. Spake's getting a little bit aggressive there. First blood could have been on the cards. Flash out the last second from Floppy to stay alive. Both junglers in the top side trying to make it happen, looking for that elusive first blood.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Jack.
Oh, wait a second. Soggy goes down very low, has to burn the barrier. The ignite comes down as well. Could we be looking at first blood? The tick goes through. Frost gets the payoff.
One of the issues with barrier, he used barrier quite late, didn't block the burst of damage initially, and wasn't enough to tank out the ignite. So the loss of flash early on proving to be big issue for A8 Soggy, and Frost will pick up first blood here on this Zed.
We knew that Frost was extremely confident coming into this, going by their own words. And I have to imagine it's a little bit of relief when the time you're shown on stream, it's a time when that exchange, that dance just about goes in your favor and pays off with not only a kill, but now a fairly healthy CS lead.
Yeah, going to be able to back and get at least a serrated Dirk, maybe a longsword on top of that. Definitely in a position to snowball this lane. Azir still sitting on no armor, so very squishy, very weak, and I mean, it's very likely Frost is going to get, well, it's almost definite Frost is going to get his level 6 before Soggy on this Azir, and really difficult position to be in, especially if he doesn't have his flash at that point.
I have to imagine it's a difficult environment at the moment with all these stopwatches going around to be bringing a Zed in. I mean, it's not quite up yet for Soggy, but it's only going to be a short amount of time before that ult denial is in place. Speaking of, though, we've got some level 5 fighting up to the topside. Flash from Walked Only nearly manages to take the trade 2v1.
Yeah, so just showing how strong this Nara is in the early matchup against the Gangplank, being able to punish him heavily, and fortunate enough to get away when Floppy does come back. Good little play from him, uses his flash, so will have that down, but don't think he's going to be too upset about that considering the situation he found himself in. I think it is true what you said about the stopwatches. Definitely slowed the games up, but Frost going in here.
There you go. Wow, level 6 against level 4. Soggy gonna get blown up. That stopwatch is nearly up, but perfect timing from Frost.
Yeah, so really smart play. Goes for the ult as soon as he gets level 6 before stopwatch is up and punishes. And at this point, you're so far behind as this is here. Even if you have stopwatch, it's not going to be able to help you massively next time Zed has his ult, so...
Wow, walked up by tanks, takes out Rada's 1v1. The early power paying off, an early CS lead as well. Really nice combination play from him.
Yeah, got caught a bit off guard there, to be honest. The ult into the wall just clipped it and did a burst of damage that managed to finish off this Gangplank. Not even sure if he used his oranges there, but both solo laners doing extremely well here from Bass Spartans, showing their domination over the other team. And you know, this is what they need to do. They have an early game team comp. They need to get ahead, and all 3 lanes they are ahead, having solo kills in the top lane, 2 solo kills in the mid lane, and then decent CS lead in the bot lane.
Well, you mentioned the bottom lane. It seems like, you know, in a bad situation as this is for it's Soggy, I mean, given that their bottom lane at least hasn't suffered death so far, is there any way you can think of to to make the most of that while the rest of the map is going out of control? Oh, never mind, actually, never mind all of that, because it's Soggy is going to get deleted once again by Frost. Soggy didn't use the stopwatch, I think, realizing there was no way out.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just lack of respect. It's Soggy knows Zed is this strong, doesn't have the vision control. I mean, it just shows that Bass Spartan are on another level. They have the control in mid lane, and they use that to put some vision wards down. And it's Soggy, he's playing in a tiny little dark hole. You can't see anything around him, and he's getting punished for it, and he's now 0-3.
You make a good point about the vision. There's some good control warding around this dragon side as the plays continue to build in potential. We've got Sakes down there on the Jarvan. We've got some real big damage potential coming through as Frost is there as well. The power maybe not as safe as Soggy would like to think.
And this is such a difficult situation because the Azir is so weak he can't walk away from mid lane because if the Zed's there he will die. But that means that the control goes to Bass Spartan. Zed and Jarvan can go wherever they please, and no one can really oppose them. So, you know, bot lane have been doing all right on the side of it's Soggy, the Uni of Kent. But I mean, if a dive comes in, neither of them actually have picked up the stopwatch rune, so really vulnerable to a dive. And I feel like that's going to be the next play that Bass Spartans look for. Zed actually finishing his Duskblade now, so insane amount of burst damage.
Yes, and even just as a side benefit, gonna even allow the Bass Spartans to get that a little bit further ahead on the vision game as well. I have to start to wonder when once those first towers do fall down, as presumably the Spartans are looking for, how far we'll see the vision line extend for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and that damage on Azir. Does respect the Jax being there.
Oh wow, Frost doesn't care though, gonna go 2v1. Ult comes out from Floppy, goes down low. Will Frost be tempted back in? Just misses on the Shuriken, but a very well taken kill. Number 4 going through. So
yeah,
far,
and it's
Frost looking
Soggy
crazy.
in this. Oh,
Wait a second, Floppy gonna be caught in the Cataclysm, and Frost willing to let that one slide and go across to the jungler.
yeah, and the difference is just pretty crazy here. Soggy being caught out again. Caught off guard from the flash from Zed and didn't use stopwatch, didn't use any summoners. Just getting absolutely destroyed here. Not sure if we're going to be able to show some of this on stream, it's so graphic.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing, isn't it? Because we've got these 4 weeks, these 12 games for these teams to try and learn and adapt. Apparently, the Bass Spartans have done a fantastic job of changing up from week number 1. Good use of the stopwatch there from Rattles, but the stun will come through. Orange is going to make it all okay for the moment. Tidal Wave comes down in the bottom to try and stop the Spartans from making a further play. Ult comes out to try and get one back for Rattles. Good use of the stopwatch in return, though. The League of Stopwatch is in full effect for now.
Yeah, I think bit of an overstep from the Gnar there. Didn't respect the stopwatch, and then stayed a bit too long, took some tower hits. Does manage to get away though, using his summoners and the stopwatch. Flash
Coming through, the Bishop gonna knock out Jamin, has been exhausted. One more shot's gonna stun. Buttermilk gets the kill. Azrael also gonna get taken to pieces. That BF sword, that extra damage with Buttermilk. Too much to handle.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the issue. Bot lane they were behind in CS, but they weren't struggling too much. But the amount of control coming from the side of Bass Spartans, Jarvan's just able to walk in there and assist the bot lane with a dive, and they pick up the first tower and 2 kills. And I mean, I don't see how this Azir is going to be able to hold on much longer. Still has his summoners and his stopwatch, but that hasn't helped him the last few times. So know that the Zed's going to keep looking for kills onto him. Pushes into the tower here.
Surely Soggy doesn't want to try and take the risk here. Drops on Emperor's Divide early. I think Frost is trying to get into the head of Soggy, and so far it's working. Frost able to take away Soggy's life whenever and wherever he pleases.
Yeah, Soggy once again dying without using summon as a stopwatch. At this point, I'm not even sure they would help though. Really, really far behind, and I don't think there's much hope for the side of it, Soggy, but if it is, they are looking for it in this top lane.
Walked able to walk away from that one as Frost looks for more kills. Azrael forced to flash away. Not taking actually that much damage. Frost may have made that first mistake. Jamin comes in, has got the ult, but it's going to be avoided easily. The mastery comes out, but Jamin's still in hot pursuit. May have walked too far though in pursuit of that kill. Jamin taken out in the midst of the Cataclysm.
Yeah, and it's like Frost is just playing with his food at this point. Doesn't feel threatened at all, no matter how low HP he gets. Sidesteps the skill shots, and his team are there to back him up. And really looking dire here for Soggy.
It does feel, when you're in a game where you're already so far behind, a whole 8,000 gold at 12.5 minutes, I suppose when you realise that the game plan for the Boss Busters could not be going better, it's going to really take its toll on the mentality.
This Zed is about to hit 6k gold, while Azir is still at 2.7, well over double, and with already one completed item, completed boots, and looking to finish up his second in maybe the next 3 or 4 minutes, while Azir is sitting on a Lodge chapter. It just looks beyond hopeless. I mean, they do have a scale and comp, so there is that sort of silver lining. If they don't need to win the early game to win with this comp, but this is just a really dire situation to be in. I mean, I don't see them really having a chance to test this game until it gets like the 30-40 minute mark.
I guess the only thing I'm seeing here, which is of any hope at all for a Soggy, is that Frost, I mean, as much as perhaps it's earned, Frost does seem to be, on occasion, making one more step than entirely necessary to go for style points against the Kent team. Maybe there's some small window of opportunity where it doesn't go quite as planned.
Ooh. After the damage from Electrocute comes in there, doesn't manage to finish off Jinx.
Oh, well, never mind. Frost can 1v2 quite happily. As up on the top side, walked on by tanks, able to chase out the opposing top laner. Radha's going to be burning the flash just to try and create some distance from this Gnar.
Yeah, and this is a bit of the issue with this Nami pick against the likes of a Zed. Not really that much you can do.
Ignite coming out. Frost going to get exhausted. Does go down very low. You have to think he's going to be looking for another kill. I think there was a second there where Azrael thought about trying their luck, but they had to know it was a fool's gamble.
Yeah, I mean, yes, you can keep him on the tower for a bit longer, and the tower is going to do more damage than you will, but the mobility on Frost just lets him get away. Really, he's now at a point, 40 minutes of the game, where he's split pushing 1 vs 2 and getting kills. Really not a good situation to be in for the University of Kent.
Floppy gonna get knocked up there. So much crowd control flashes away, but the follow-up from Spakes, the Cataclysm seals their fate. Now over a 10k advantage for the Spartans, who are taking over the jungle. And looking to press the advantage even further, Bjorg going onto the tower even to try and push more damage through.
Yeah, still a perfect game actually here from Bath Spartans, so I mean, obviously they are leagues above the enemy team at this point, but will be interesting to see if they do manage to maintain this, because as much as they do look extremely likely to win out this game against Soggy, they want to establish themselves as one of the top teams in the league. They want to get through to the next round, and they want to prove that they're a top contender, and by doing that they need to show that they're not just capable of beating these teams, they're capable of dominating them, getting clean games, and destroying the easy teams, so that they can prove that they are a stronger opponent for the top teams who have established themselves.
Wow, that damage is chronic. Jamin relegated to the bench for another 20 seconds or so, as you can see just the confidence levels of Frost just beyond atmospheric here. Able to just push in as they please, but I think you're right, Orcs. It's, you know, as much as perhaps the side of the Bar Spartans are enjoying this game and enjoying inflicting punishment upon the team of the Soggy ones, They do need to make sure they don't get too carried away. Floppy will go down there. The bubble almost lands onto Spakes. He's going to have to walk around the outside. And I mean, it's crazy to think this is pre-20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, these fights, they seem to be going close. The side of pass Spartans seem to be getting low, but realistically, they're so far ahead they can afford to do stuff like this. And, I mean, yes, maybe there are some misplays there where Frost goes a bit too aggressive, but when there's so little damage coming out from the side of Soggy, no one can really punish him, and he's still deathless, as is the rest of the team. Picking up another kill there. Now 8-0-2 on this Zed.
To the ice. Oh, never mind about the item check-in, because Radis is gonna get caught up. No amount of oranges will be enough to get them out of that particular situation. Of course, it's not just Frost who's benefiting from this incredibly dominant early game. We've got completed items rolling in across the board for the rest of the team to make sure that even the slightly later game is not going to be a better proposition for the Soggy team.
Yeah, it's just difficult to see. I mean, the team are still playing, they're still hoping, they're still trying to defend, so props them for that, but Soggy can't be particularly optimistic about this game. Really difficult position as Bath Spartans pick up the Rift Herald. Gonna look for a play topside though.
Trying to bait out successfully. Nice double knockout there, but unfortunately no follow-up from the Sluggy side of things. Still trying to keep things going, still trying to find some small chance back into this game. And maybe it's just if the Spartans spread themselves too thinly. All comes out, jamming, not going to be able to be saved. You're exactly right, that bubble is just, I think, too slow for Frost's fancy feet to ever get caught.
Yeah, too slow, bit too hard to aim, and Frost can just walk all over the Jinx.
Well, Orcs, if you're a team watching, if you're a NUEL team watching this game, and you see what the Bar Spartans could potentially have in store for you, what kind of things could potentially the Soggy team have done here to increase their chances in this game?
I think the first thing is draft. I mean, they pick 3 lanes without scale, and I think with any composition, even in historically, we've seen compositions like the Juggermore, which is a very much scaling composition, and we've seen it create. Oh.
Wait a second.
Gun in here.
Rift Herald has allowed access, and wow, Frost gets yet another kill. Walked on my tanks, taking out Jarman. I think we could, in fact, just as quickly as that, be looking at least an inhibitor going down. If not, I don't know how Bar Spartans are confident enough to go for anything more than this. They will get a little bit of damage onto those Nexus towers, but I think content to just go out on the map and start to create an even more impossible situation the Soggy wants to face down.
Yeah, as I was saying, something we've seen in the past when high-level Korean teams run compositions like the Juggermore, which is a very late-game focused comp, they don't put all their eggs in one basket. They might pick a couple of scaling champions, but you need something to facilitate your early game. And, you know, Soggy just haven't. You know, they pick scaling lanes across the board, and it's difficult to have pressure on the map when that happens.
Frost getting another kill through. It would just walk through the team, pick up a couple of kills themselves like it is nothing. Currently 12-0-3.
Yeah, and I think this shows it. I mean, obviously there's a definite skill difference between these teams, but I think the composition as well, you can't just pick 3 scaling. You know, you've been counter-picked mid. You have such a low pressure bot lane that needs to scale. You have a scaling top, and you're against a jungler who has more gank pressure, so I think even if these were evenly matched teams, Soggy would have backed himself into a corner with this draft, but the skill difference is shown, and Frost is trying to make a highlight reel out of this game.
I think so. Bar Spartans able to, the second Baron spawns, make the move in with all the pressure they have accrued for themselves. Not even a peep from Soggy. University of Kent gonna give across the Baron for free. The nearly, oh my god, nearly looking at a 20k gold advantage for the Bar Spartans. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, at this point I'm wondering if they're going to double their gold lead. Need a bit more, need about 4k more at this point. Think the issue is, no one on Soggy is worth any gold. So I think you're going to struggle to find much killing anyone.
Well, just a little bit of the waiting for Neville here as Frost is going to get taken away. That was okay. There's a little bit of the good stuff from the Soggy side, but unfortunately, massively too late. We've got pressure on mid and top inhibitors as well to add more waves of super minions to the treble. Boss Spartans surgically taking apart the team from Kent, making sure absolutely every box is ticked before the game is over.
Yeah, taking all the objectives will actually be a perfect game in the end. No deaths, no towers, no neutral objectives. So, absolutely dominant performance.
Honestly, kind of eye-watering. Soggy decides to go in, tries to make the play. No plays to be found as the Nexus towers will fall down. The Bar Spartans pick up even more kills, padding out those stats. And the Nexus, of course, not long for as well. Last play falls flat. Soggy wants out to the Spartans.
Yeah, and I think that is the closest to murder that you will see on Twitch. Absolutely decimated.
That was pretty horrific, and especially from the Bar Spartans, a team who struggled in week number 1 to turn out a performance like that. I have deep concerns for their next opponents, and I strongly suspect this may be a team, the Spartans, that we'll be seeing a lot more of in the coming weeks. For now, though, we will be heading to break. We have got one more game this evening to bring you, which will be from the Hertfordshire Blue, a returning team to the NUEL. So, please do stay tuned, and we'll be back with that as soon as we can.
I'm not quite the man that you need me to be. I'm not quite the man that you need me to be.
You're not that
But I don't wanna love no more. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't wanna love no more. I don't wanna love because of you.
you think you're talking is coach, and you've been here before. But your agent gets old when your life's on the floor. Only heaven can know where your happiness goes when the kids in the yard find themselves in the hole.
I'm not quite the man that you needed me to be. I'm not quite the man that you needed me to be.
You're not that
But I don't wanna love no more. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't wanna love no more. I don't wanna love because of you.
Alright guys, welcome back to the NUEL National Championship. We are ending out week 2 of our spring season. Unfortunately, due to some technical issues, Hertfordshire Blue will not be able to join us for our last game of the day, but we have managed to find another team for you. Once a week from Southampton Uni, we'll be going up against Blade of the Ruined Kings from King's College.
Yeah, so hoping to get a bit more of a competitive matchup from last game. Last game was very, very one-sided, with Bath Spartans coming out with a 24 kills to 0.
I don't think I've seen anything quite like that for a while. Let's see what Game 3 has got in store for us as we head into the pick and ban phase. Once a week over the blue, Blade of the Ruined Kings over on the red. I'm Spiffy, taking care of the banning duties.
Yeah, so quite hard to judge sometimes what team's going to come out and ban with. Popular ones have been the Zoe pick. Janet has actually come out here. Might be something they don't want to play against. Could leave things like Stack open, other picks like that. Side's going to ban out the Jace. So, not the most traditional bans we've seen so far. But clearly these teams have done their research and know who they're up against. And I think that's the main thing, is that at this level, it's definitely important to see what are the pocket picks, because sometimes players can have shorter champion pools, and it's something you can punish by banning away their stronger champ.
Once a week, going to hit the bottom lane again. The Twitch hitting the bench. We'll get to see what they've got in store for us. The Annie coming out, and Orcs, I think you're right. It seems like we are seeing some very specific bans coming from both teams.
Yeah, so Janna Twitch can be a really solid scaling lane. You get Twitch on her a few crimes, and he decimates the other team, so might be something that Blade of the Ruined Kings have had success with in the past. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to check up that myself, but not going to be able to play at this game. Annie, really reliable champion, so maybe the side of once a week having it as a comfort pick. And first pick we've seen that's been banned away, that's quite a popular one in this meta, is the Azir being taken off the board. And then inside of Zac. Zac makes a lot of sense because they got rid of the Janna, so Janna, a strong champ against Zac can disengage him, but looks like really fast bans coming out here. Really fast picks. Once a week, you're going to pick up the Tristana.
Yes, the once a week team captain, I'm Spiffy, a Tristana main known for trying to steal as many kills as possible. Nice crowd control suite already being locked in for the Blade of the Ruined Kings, though. I love seeing the Sejuani and the Tarek together on the same team.
Yeah, this gives an insane amount of team fighting over to the side of Blade of the Ruined Kings. You know, they have a really solid front line, and the invulnerability is going to be really hard to deal with. The other side, we do have the Bard pick and the Malzahar. A lot of pick potential, actually. Malzahar, obviously, with his flash ult, and Bard's long range ult, can be able to provide a lot of pressure. Oh, and Blade of the Ruined Kings have come out with Raven. So looking to establish some dominance in the bot lane. Bit of a risky pick, very much feast to famine. So will he pop off, or will he struggle? And I think I might take a wild guess, but the person with the name Winnable, by the way, might be a Draven main. Just a hint from the fact that obviously something Tyler One says, that a game's winnable, by the way. So
I think that's a good call, Orcs.
maybe a pocket pick that they didn't look into, and they're now going to have to try and handle Draven, which can be a very devastating pick if he gets ahead, especially when you have a Tarek to make him invulnerable. Jarvan pick comes away. This makes sense on Blade of the Ruined Kings. The other side hasn't picked up their jungler yet, and haven't secured Sejuani. They'll want to get rid of those. Galio ban, very heads up. Galio obviously not just a strong laner who's hard to push out, but someone who can roam bottom lane with its ult. Potentially could see a second pick that they want to take away from that. Maybe get rid of the Talia or something like that, because you want this Draven isolated. You don't want him getting support from his team, and you want to be able to shut him down.
That will be another jungle ban from King's College. The Blade of the Ruined Kings really hitting that position, picking it with their own jungler and sending 3 bans that way. Once a week, and have to deal with that diminished pool as the Blades go into the second pick phase. Still have got a top lane and mid lane to reveal.
Yeah, not sure what happened. I think once a week, maybe they misread the draft, or maybe they just didn't feel the need to ban anything else. But they banned Braum when Tarek's already been picked. So unless we're seeing some spicy Tarek tops here, bit of a wasted ban there. And Blade of the Ruined King's going to pick up the Orianna. They're looking for the top counter pick here, and they're going to take Orianna, bit of a safe mid laner, offers a lot of team fighting power, and also going to be able to shield Draven, who they're clearly looking to carry.
I've got it confirmation from the side of Once a Week that was a mistake ban on the Braum. But we'll see. I don't know necessarily what they would have gone for otherwise under the circumstances. And okay, with all those jungle bans from King's College, the Graves will be the choice for Southampton.
Yeah, interesting pick. Graves is obviously a really snowbally jungler. I'm not exactly sure on the Sejuani Graves matchup, but he obviously has a really solid clear. The issue is that they now have no front line, and they are hovering the Riven. I'm not going to say anything about it until they lock it in. And they have locked it in, so going for a very aggressive top jungle pick here. A lot of damage from these two, but very, very squishy team comp here. And the thing is, if you don't one-shot someone on the side of Blade of the Ruined Kings, Tarek ult's going to come down. There's all the CC from Orianna and Sejuani. It's going to be so difficult, so looks like that Urgot's been hovered here, and it will be locked in. Urgot, a really solid pick, quite bulky, but still able to put out a lot of damage. Can more than meet a match for Riven. So, you know, some interesting picks coming in from this side of Once a Week. Quite a few more stapled ones from Blade of the Ruined Kings. I think for Once a Week, maybe these are their pocket picks. Maybe these are their picks they have had success on in the past. But I feel like they need to sort of take over the game with them. The Riven needs to get ahead. Graves needs to get ahead. And that can facilitate the Tristan and the Malzahar later in the game. Whereas on the other side of Blade of the Ruined Kings, I think they just really want the Draven to do well. Everyone else is going to scale into a position where they're comfortable. Sejuani, Tarek, Orianna, amazing late game champion. Urgot can definitely hold his own against Riven and becomes such a bulky powerhouse we've seen in earlier games. So, you know, I think the game is in the hands of Once a Week for them to sort of take over it. They have some really aggressive champions. They have Malzahar who can make plays on his ult. They have Bard who can roam. They just need to make it happen, because it's going to be difficult if they fall behind. I think if they hit late game and they're even or behind, it's going to be difficult to cut through that front line.
I mean, well, so for the information we've got on the Once a Week team, we know that from what they've told us, that Pappy the Harpy, who's now rocking Riven in this particular game, tends to be kind of an island to themselves up on the top side. You're thinking that perhaps they may not have the best time against the Urgot that Tilted by the Gods is going to be bringing out.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because it's hard to trade in the Urgot because it has range advantage on you, and if you commit into him, Riven doesn't really have the damage sort of burst to him. Urgot's going to be a bit bulky, going to pick up Ninja Tabi at some point early on, and his first item will be the Black Cleaver, so going to have quite a bit of bulk. And Riven needs to burst. Riven's good against squishies, good at 100 to 0 of them, so maybe if Urgot gets caught off in the first few levels, the Riven will be able to take him out, and the otherwise, I feel like she needs a gank to really cut through all his HP, because Urgot's just going to poke her out and just shove her in, and it's going to be not fun lane, I'll say that.
Alright, to apologise, I've just corrected the team name. Sorry, I was written down as Once a Week. It's Play Once a Week from Southampton Uni. A name that the team apparently does live by. This is the one time each week that this team plays together, so we'll see how well they can cohere as a unit. But to turn our eyes towards the jungle, Mr. Cynical, the superstar shot-calling jungle carry, as Play Once a Week described them, going to be going up against C-Nana's Sejuani. We do not see very much Graves nowadays. How should we expect that to play out?
So, I mean, I have a friend who actually wants Graves quite a bit, and it is such a snowbally pick because once he gets ahead of the curve, he smashes through jungle camps, and he just continues to do insane amounts of damage throughout the game. But that's the key thing, is you have to get ahead. You have to get a big lead on this Graves, because if you struggle with him, he's bulkier than some squishy champs, but he's short ranged, and if the amount of CC on the side of Blade of the Ruined Kings, if they got on top of him, it's just going to pop. And the thing is, he has to hit what's in front of him, and Sejuani, Taric, and Urgot are just tank away his damage if he doesn't have a huge lead. So, I mean, it's similar with Riven. They either need flanks onto the carries, or they just need to get such a big lead that it doesn't matter, and they can shred to the front line. It's once again a situation that we saw in the last game, but I feel like it's a bit more hard pressed for. But again, this is the thing: is a lot of times comfort picks can be more important and influential than playing necessarily what's meta. Like maybe Mr. Cynical has. Well, I'm guessing he has a lot of experience on Graves. Otherwise, he wouldn't pick it in this situation. So, having a lot of understanding of the champion, of its limits, of its damage, how it works, of its matchups, I think that's a lot more important than, in some cases, than just playing what's optimal or what might be the best in the current meta.
To give you a small amount of insight into the way that Once a Week play, as mentioned before, the top laner kind of existing as an island Pappy the Harpy even. The mid laner, Enna, currently on Malzahar, apparently extremely fond of roaming it down towards the bottom lane to help out Maple Wings and I'm Spiffy. I mean, we've mentioned multiple times already about winnable BTW on the Draven for the side of the Blade of the Ruined King. I mean, given what we've got in lane, how do you see that lane developing?
I think it's very, very snowbally, because Tristana and Bard have a lot of poke, have a lot of pushing pressure, but like if you get hit by a Taric stun, you can die so easily. I mean, Draven's got so much burst, and Taric actually does a lot of damage in the early levels. His stun has really high base damage, level 1, so I mean, I think it's very much a skill matchup. Both sides, if they get a lead, are just going to devastate the other one, because Taric, obviously being a melee champ, if you fall behind, if you get shoved in, you're going to struggle. And as well, the Draven, if you get a kill on them, you're going to get that bonus gold. You're going to be able to cash in those stacks. But if you get killed, you now, not a recent patch, it came a while ago, but the patch was changed. You now lose 75% of your stacks for death, which is a huge amount.
All right, Orcs, let's get paused up at 10 seconds just to run out the spectator hiccup. Do let me know when you've got there. We'll leave it for a few more seconds.
Yeah, I'm at 10.
All right, let's count in. 3,
2, 1,
go. All right, and let's bring you guys in on the action as well. Our final game of week number 2. Play Once a Week from the Southampton Uni, going up against Blades of the Ruined Kings over on the red from King's College.
Yeah, both teams going a bit aggressive in the early game, trying to look for something, bit of a play, bit of an early pick.
Yeah, we talked about Once a Week need to get something to happen early on. Both teams passing each other ships in the night, very much applicable here, as both teams go for a very aggressive early play. Orcs, how do you see this developing?
Well, I think the more cheesy play came out from play once a week. They're in a position where they're trying to catch out the enemy bot lane. They are going to move up now. I mean, will Blade of the Ruined Kings expect this? They have seen them now. They have seen them. And they're on the wrong side of the map, but they are grouped as 5. So I think they'll just give some space up, take the ward, back off.
Well, a first blood of sorts, but yes, something that doesn't seem like what play once a week we're looking for. I think we might be seeing a little bit more of a contention around this early blue buff than expected. I'm honestly fascinated to see what play once a week go for here. Winnable, getting a little chewed out by that damage from Maple Wings, very strong early on.
Yeah, Bard is absolutely insane in the early levels. Passive is huge, and you can stun so easily in these early fights in the jungle. So looks like they're contesting this buff.
Franken's cat going down very low. See Nana, the Sejuani, taking a bit of damage as well. Maple Wings still waiting. I was wondering if we were going to see a stun coming through at the early stage, but it looks like still play once a week in the jungle, trying to affect See Nana's Sejuani as much as possible. Stun does finally come out, but no follow-up. The junglers going head-to-head in the jungle. See Nana down very low. Does have the flash available. Is going to burn it. And advantage to play once a week after a big sequence down bot.
Yeah, so Blade of the Ruined Kings bot lane just decided they wanted to go for the lane pressure, and Bard seems to be caught out here.
Maple Wing is getting chewed out by that early Draven damage. Even at level 2, a damage monster.
Yeah, I think a bit of a lack of respect there. Play once a week went for a solid invade. They knew they had the pressure from how their champs perform level 1. They pushed Cnanas off, isn't able to get his blue buff, and Graves takes that and gets such a lead. But, you know, walking back in the lane, Draven and Taric, they opted to focus their lane. They went back, they started a shove, built up a big wave, and you have to respect that. And Maple Wings didn't and lost his flash in return. Looking mid lane.
Yeah, Lycos could be in a bit of trouble. Aina going to get the heal out to try and assist the 2v1. Lycos down very low, does not have any summoners left, and that's first blood to play once a week.
And his Graves is doing work here, you know, got the early lead, got the early advantage, and this is what we needed to see from him. Little fight going on top lane, not too much there. Hex Flash comes in bot. As I was saying, this is what we need to see from the Graves. Done does bot lane.
Thought for a second, Frankenstein's cat taking a huge amount of damage as the fighting breaks out in top lane as well. Play once a week, wasting no time in this game, but winnable, very high on health. The Ignite coming down, the health bars dropping in the bottom side. Play once a week, already chewing out these lanes. Tilted by the gods, gets knocked up to flash in. Pappy the Harpy gets second blood. Down the bottom side, Winnable is going to get that shield the last second. Stun comes through, but there's a kill for the Ruined Kings in return.
Yeah, I think a bit of a lack of respect from Tilted from the gods. You know Riven has Ignite. You have to play wary and flashed a bit too late. Needed to flash the combo if he was going to avoid the damage, but either way, it does fall. Riven getting the advantage she needs if she wants to stay relevant in this lane. In the bot lane, Biffy going too aggressive. Still had his flash up. Possibly would have liked to see him flash the Taric's done if he was going to survive there. And Draven picking up a kill here is going to be huge. Tristana has now taken a cull, but already 400 gold behind. And I have a feeling Draven's going to base and grab a BF sword here, which is going to make this lane very punishing for the Tristana. Bard running up towards mid.
Maybe looking for a little bit of cheekiness, will get spotted out by war, but Orcs, I mean, as a comparison of alternatives here, for these teams in the game, so for play once a week, they've got the kill up top, they've got the kill in mid. For Blades of the Ruined King, they've got the kill down bottom. How do those kind of compare with each other in terms of significance?
I didn't... Oh, might be seeing something mid first.
Yeah, Lycos, a little bit of trouble. Still doesn't have that flash up and available. Red buff going to slow down. And of course, looking for the blast cone to get out of trouble. Doesn't get across the wall. Lycos still being pursued. It's going to be let down because Tilted by the Gods is going to be the new target. Does have the flash still available. Play once a week. Looking to make many plays in a short amount of time. Tilted by the Gods getting chewed out. Unfortunately, Harpy not able to follow up quite yet. Flash being forced away.
Yeah. Tilted by the Gods overstepping quite far there. Still looking to get
Okay,
punished.
wow, goes in, flings under the tower, but that will be another kill. Traded across though, thanks to the tower. I'm not
Yeah.
even. This is quite the contrast to game number 1, but still
think-
incredibly aggressive.
Really solid play there, actually, Tilted from the gods. I think he made a massive mistake stepping in the jungle. He got punished massively, and out of that HP, you know you're going to get dived. And so he went for the aggressive play, and he managed to take out the Graves, trade 1-for-1. So made the best of a bad situation. Sejuani is in the wings here.
Yeah, Maple Wings going to be the one to get caught out. C Nana secures the kill down the bottom side, and the Ruined Kings starting to really build up a presence down there.
Yeah, I think this is really good on the favor of Blade Kings. The gold's roughly even at this point, but this Draven's going to become such an issue later. And as I said, they have a better late game comp, but Sejuani might be caught out here.
Mr. Cynical going to try and see if they can turn this bottom lane around, but instead just puts more gold into Winnable's pocket. The Draven stacks cashed in, and disaster for play once a week.
Yeah, and if you're Pappy the Harpy here in this situation, you're really worrying now, because yes, you have 2 kills. Yes, you want to keep Snowball in your lane, but you're going to be playing against a fed Draven who has a Taric on his back and who's going to exhaust you every team fight. So, going to be a bit worried about how you're going to deal with this.
I mean, Draven already, yes, the proposition of facing down Winnable's Draven in the late game already pretty terrifying. Those kills as well as a CS lead means that resources will be committed to assist. Once more, C Nana down on the bottom side, Cloud Drake up for grabs as well. As Frankenstein's Cat still provides more room for Winnable to work with.
Yeah, that's really real solid. So play once a week. It is a Cloud Drake, so not the most impactful. If this was an Infernal, I think the game would be in a much more difficult position. But I think Tristana does just need to try and stall out the game, get a bit more gold on her, and maybe try and sustain the pressure from Draven. But he has now just backed. And I think based on the fact he picked up pickups first, oh, he's actually going for the IE.
Wait a second. Tilted by the Gods is getting chewed to pieces. The damage too much to handle. And, well, we wonder what Tilted by the Gods and Pappy the Happy would create in the top lane. It looks like an even bigger feed across for play once a week to correspond with the bottom lane.
Yeah, and just bit of an outskill early on. The Ignite difference using the spell book has given this lead, and now Tilted by the Gods so far behind in the item curve. Only got a long sword really for combat stats on the Doran's Blade against the nearly full Black Cleaver from Pappy the Harpy. So just able to cut through him, and this is what you need from play once a week if you're gonna still remain relevant in this game. But currently Draven has a BF and a pickaxe, so this Tristana sitting only on a cull is gonna have to recall now, and does just have enough money for a BF sword, so might be able to survive a bit more in this lane, and that's what you need. You need to give time for this Riven start to take over the game.
Mr. Cynical once more paying over to C Nana. Remember back to the beginning of the game with C Nana driven away from their own buff by Mr. Cynical. The rest of the team waiting for a chance to make this power play into something more.
And this is how the team should be playing. Mr. Cynical's doing it correctly. He knows his Riven is strong. He knows his Malzahar's going to be able to shove in, so he plays to the top side. You can see from the vision control, wards all across that red side jungle on the side of Blade Kings. They've pushed in, they've got the vision, they took the red buff, and now they have control. Freely move in there. And meanwhile, on the bottom, yes, Draven's pushing up into the Tristana, but they're not really going to be able to take the tower yet. They have chunked it a little bit, but not significant. Whereas Riven is really in a position where she's going to potentially be able to burst this Urgot if she gets the chance.
Mr. Cynical definitely has the same idea as C Nana as well, looking to try and make another kill go through. The damage pouring out onto the Urgot, managing to avoid getting caught by the ult. Mr. Cynical gets kill number 3, and a nice bit of presence for play once a week.
Yeah, and play once a week. Riven now has a roll, and this Sejuani is very low. Does have rear ult now. Didn't have it in the fight before, but gonna hit the Graves.
Coming out, body block from Pappy the Harpy, and that's another kill coming through. Riven really coming online.
Yeah, an unfortunate situation. She felt like she had to make the play first because had to make the play first because she was so low. But stun coming in bot lane.
Wow, look at that damage already. We're not even just past the 10-minute mark. Already winnable, managing to just eliminate the bottom lane. Spiffy now in a whole world of trouble. Here comes the ult, gonna block all the damage, but it's gonna be responded to by a nice stopwatch rocket jump away. I'm Spiffy able to hold the line for the moment. I think the Blade of the Ruined Kings really wanted to be able to take that tower for free.
Yeah, gotta criticize the bot lane of Play Once a Week a bit here. Maple Wings dying without using either summoners. Not sure if his flash was up there, so I'm not 100% if he had it there, but Spiffy definitely had heal, didn't opt to use it, and will get dived here.
Well, very smooth from the Ruined Kings.
Say
Just-
didn't use any summoners there, so it ended up falling flat. And this is Blade of the Ruined Kings. They picked this Draven. They were confident in winnable, by the way, and he is now sitting at a massive 2k gold lead over the Tristana. So game going exactly as they need for this Draven to snowball. Yes, the Riven is a concern, but Riven needs to do a lot more in team fights to make her champion work. She needs to get flash engages onto the backline if she's going to make an impact. Whereas all Draven needs to do is just auto attack anyone in front of him, and he will smash them. A key thing as well, picking up this first turret, Draven's now going to get even more gold. Now 2,800 gold ahead. And a key thing is there's no tanks on this side of Play Once a Week. All squishy champions. So when this Draven gets some crit going, gets some high damage auto attacks, he's going to shred through them. And he's just finished his death stance, which is going to make him even harder to pin down.
Wow, that is a nightmare just waiting to be born onto the rest of the map. The first tower gold being given across to winnable BTW exclusively, as up to the top side the brawling continues to Urgot, not paying off perhaps the way the Blade of the Ruined Kings would like. I have to wonder how effective the Urgot's going to be later on as well. But maybe winnables can change all that in the mid. We have got the catch coming through, but Pappy the Harpy able to get away from a 3-person gank.
Yeah, solid play from honestly from Tilted by the Gods. He knew he was having his bot lane to back him up, so he played a bit over aggressive. Pappy the Harpy tried to go in with his ult, and now he's left in a position where he's defending against his Fed Draven, and he doesn't have his ultimate, so he's pretty much useless at this point. And as a result, Mr. Cynical has to come up to help him wave clear, but this is not where you want your Fed Riven to be. Playing against a Fed Draven and a Taric who's going to be able to peel for him, you want him against the Urgot, and this is what having a Fed bot lane can do for you. You can free up your top lane who's struggling.
At least for the side of Play Once a Week, they do get a chance to get the Tristana and Spiffy some time on the bottom side, but it looks like Tilted by the Gods is going to try his luck down with Cnana. Maple Wings once more going to be taken down.
Yeah, one of those situations where you need a flash to set you on the ult, because once it lands, flashing afterwards isn't going to do much. You're still going to be slowed and frozen. And this is going really solid for Blade of the Ruined Kings. Got themselves a 2.3k gold lead, and this Urgot is now in a much better position to when he's laying against a 0-2-0 Tristana.
I really like this from Blade of the Ruined Kings. Seems very smart to try and neutralize the power of Play Once a Week in this kind of way. And yeah, Pappy the Harpy does not look like a 0-3 Riven when they're having to face down this Draven.
Yeah, and I think a huge thing as well is the fact the ult got burned by Tilted by the Gods. Obviously, he's had a very difficult game. He's 1-4-1 on Urgot, got solo killed a couple of times, but he burned that ult on Riven, which is coming up soon, but it gave a window where Draven can be aggressive, and this is the moment where I'm wondering, will Riven go aggressive? He has flash, he has ult. Is he going to try and pop this Draven? Bear in mind, there is exhaust from the Taric, and his ult will come through after.
Dazzle gonna be burnt. You can still see Mr. Cynical, so much damage. There goes the play, exhaust being burnt, and the ulti as well. But in the mid lane, play coming for once, Play Once a Week. Barrier comes out. Will they manage to take out? Nice use of the Tempered Fate. Aina manages to get that kill through finally against Lycos.
Yeah, so Bard making some good movements mid to get a play. It is what you need, and
Oh, wow, okay. Aina may not live that long. Lovely double binding there to get the double stun. Cnana wants to dive it out, but can't quite manage it. In fact, maybe punished further. Teleport coming in. There we go. Pappy the Harpy going to try and influence the map a little
looks like
bit.
Tristana is going to move down, and don't think Cnana is going to be able to get away from this one. Might have to go for the execute.
Play Once a Week, giving up the top tower in exchange for a chance at a play. I think they may not even get that, though. Cnana recalling will go under the tower, trying to time out. Good use of that ult there to try and keep away the last bit of damage, but I think that might have been a mistake. Spiffy goes in, does secure the kill.
Yeah, walks back, ends up giving the kill away. Does burn his flash in return, but you need that gold, and you're in a situation where, I mean, they did manage to get the kill on the Sejuani, but they missed out on the Mal's sorry, they did manage to get the kill out on the Sejuani and they saved the Malzahar, but they lost top tower in return. So it's making the best of a bad situation. And then they're 2 towers behind. Draven's still extremely fed. And with this Rift Herald they're picking up now, it's not looking too positive for the side of playing once a week.
Yes, the Southampton team already down 2 towers to 0. Rift Herald is going to, well, we'll have to see where it ends up going. Certainly in the mid lane would seem like the most obvious choice to strip away that entire outer ring. It's down at the bottom side, tilted by the gods, going one-on-one with Spiffy. Doesn't actually get too much done. The minions absorbing a lot of the damage.
Yeah, I think minions are on the side of Spiffy there, but also tilted by the gods did miss his dash. And I think he missed his Q because he wasn't tracked onto him, so wasn't able to do too much damage, but he has some more tanky stats here.
Gonna go for the ult, and it is going to be the end of days for Spiffy. Torn to pieces once you get caught and drawn in. That is it. I'm trying to
huge
remember
misplay.
now.
Spiffy there just jumped right into the air. I mean, in these matchups, you have to play with your range, your Dana, and he played it as a melee range champion, which you don't want to do into a Nergot. And in return, Blader and Kings are going to pop this Rift Herald down mid, and they're going to look for this mid tower.
The team of Play Once a Week did warn me ahead of time that I'm Spiffy, known for their very interesting Tristana jumps, going to bite them this time round. As the Tempered Fate comes in, I think that may have actually helped the side of the Blade of their own King more than anything, as they force through the kill between the turrets, drive away Play Once a Week, and I think they may be able to take the mid tower for free. Happy rather going in and getting torn to pieces by the walls of Blade of the Ruined King. More kills, more towers. The Rift Herald moving in on the tier 2 as well.
Yeah, and this Fed Riven is just unable to do anything. CC and Peel coming in from the Taric and the Orianna and the Sejuani, really struggling to make an impact in any of these team fights, and as a result, the Ruined Kings are going on to the Nexus towers, Inhib towers, sorry.
Gonna get caught, gonna get exploded by winnable BTW. Has so much damage, so much burst, and I don't think even the inhibitor knows just gonna get saved by the Southampton side, but by a sliver.
And Spiffy did disconnect there, not sure if that was a DC or maybe just felt like, oh, has been a pause coming through and it just looked like he's gonna reconnect, so. Getting back into the game now. Well, it's just a short DC. Not sure if that was the reason he died, or he would have died anyway. But Balloon Kings will back off regardless, and are looking to take this dragon. Only a Cloud Drake, not going to be hugely impactful, but gonna start picking these up. And currently sitting at a 6k, just under 6k gold lead, so really in the lead here. And this Draven is absolutely huge.
A second Cloud Drake is in the offing for a little bit later on. They are the Ruined Kings, if they maintain the map control, can be able to nip around the place extremely quickly. Tilted by the gods, going to run into Mr. Cynical, flips them across the blast cone, and oh my god, there comes the ult once more. Tilted by the gods, managing to force out a kill. Lycos is going to get caught up, but Ina has very little to say. Pappy the Harpy goes into the backside, but again, all that tankiness, all those shields as well, makes it very difficult to get the kill to go through.
Yeah, extremely difficult for this Riven to really do anything here. The Urgot now, he's gotten a lot of levels, a lot of gold, global gold, and he's picked up his one-item spike, which is Black Cleaver, just shredded through the graves. And this is the issue, there's no tank aside of Play Once a Week, so who can really stand up to this damage? You currently look at a 2.5 item Draven, and if he gets a crit with that Shiv, it's going to hurt.
Oh, I mean, it just seems like everything, honestly, coming from winnable BTW is going to work. It's going to hurt tremendously. The goal lead up to nearly 6k right now. We're not even at the 20-minute mark. I'm just trying to figure out how to Play Once a Week get their damage through the front line, through the shields, and where it actually counts.
I think the answer once again is you don't. I think they need to look for a situation where the shields aren't there. You need to look for someone isolated, and you need to just burst them down. But it doesn't look like what's happening top.
Yes, it's going to be the Harpy isolated. Ult doesn't come out this time by Tilted by the Gods, but top lane tower could be in peril, but the rest of the Play Once a Week side are at least there to relieve pressure for the moment.
And this is a difficulty that Blader and Kings have the control, they have the vision, and they've
You know, they are free to move. Whereas, do you miss out on this stun? Whereas
Yep.
Play Once a Week are in a difficult situation.
Maybe a chance to punish this push. Tilted by the Gods going to get stunned up once more. Ult coming out on the backside to Frankenstein's Cat. Going to go down extremely low, but Winnable is there. Tempered Fate goes wide. Winnable picks up another kill, while Spiffy going to get soloed out in the bottom side. Play Once a Week. Eesh. At least they did make the play.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid idea. They ulted the Tarek so we couldn't assist the Urgot, and they shut him down. But then Draven came along, and you saw the damage just one auto did in the Malzahar. And then I'm not really sure what Spiffy's doing. It seems a bit tilted, but again, solo kill by the Sejuani is not what you want from your AD carry. And as a result, they'll lose the inhib tower mid.
21-minute inhib tower. Certainly, well, I mean, certainly the fight being put up by Play Once a Week is fierce, but it seems like there's just too much of an obstacle to overcome. Winnable BTW just seems like they're never going to even be remotely in peril from here on out with the rest of the Blades supporting him.
Yeah, and one of the huge things is having this mid inhibitor down. It means mid lane will constantly be pushing the side of Blade of the Ruined Kings. Looks like Graves might have gone on the Tarek here.
And with Cynical in hot pursuit, we'll get the slow down. The rest of the team coming in from the side. The red buff slowing Frankenstein's Cat, but the tower is still there. Nice avoid on the dazzle, but look at that damage. Winnable BTW taking half the health bar of the second most fed member of Once Upon a Week. The shockwave comes out, and Aina just taken to pieces. Blade of the Ruined King take another kill, and even more pressure on the map.
Yeah, and as you can see, Riven's low HE has to recall. The super minions are pushing him mid. There's absolutely no control from Play Once a Week over this Baron. Spiffy's on the other side of the map, and it looks like he'll go uncontested.
Baron going down extremely quickly, though. Play Once a Week are coming in. Tempered Fate to buy a little bit of time. Pappy the Harpy does have the teleport if the target can be acquired. Mr. Cynical, though, gonna have to run away extremely quickly. Lycos getting taken out very, very low. Spiffy gets across the wall, and Play Once a Week did accomplish what they needed to. The Baron has been cancelled for now.
Yeah, really solid. They cancelled the Baron, which is all you can really ask for at this point. And looks like they'll just back off. They got a bit of vision in return. So, good situation. Bard pick really came out useful there. The ult delayed them, bought them some time, but is it going to be enough? They are still looking at a massive 5.6k goal deficit. And you know, it's difficult to see a point where they're really going to be able to win team fights, as Orion is constantly scaling. This Draven is getting more and more items and is untouched so far. 603, and this front line all comes down on the Tarek.
Frankenstein's Cat going to be caught up, has oftentimes been the focus of attention. Nice double stun comes through, but Play Once a Week, playing this one out a little bit cautiously, trying to make sure the time is right. Mr. Single going to get caught. Keep your eyes on Winnable, of course. The damage absolutely off the charts as the fight breaks out beyond the river.
You saw that damage from the Oriana, the least fed member probably on the team of Blade of the Ruined Kings, and just chunked that Graves out.
See, every time I'm seeing I'm Spiffy being aggressed onto, I'm fully expecting disaster. Ult comes out to catch Maple Wings. Will not be able to save themselves, but just try and buy at least a moment for Play Once a Week to stay in this game. We've got the super minions coming in the mid lane, but it doesn't look like Blades of the Ruined Kings want to try and press any further.
Yeah, I don't think they can really finish, even though they have the numbers advantage, just because how hard it is to push on the Nexus Towers. But they walk back towards Baron, and they get the control, and it's going to be once again difficult for Play Once a Week to contest. They don't have the Bard here, which means they can't stall for time. And although Malzahar and Riven are moving up, I'm not sure how much they're going to be able to do here. Baron on 5.5k.
Down in the bottom side, trying to provide a little bit of extra distraction from the Play Once a Week side. This is if a hero playtime is now or never. Ult comes down to try and deny a little bit of extra time, but good knockup comes through. The Oriana Lycos driven out of the fight. Spiffy looking to trim the damage, gets the kill across. Spiffy going to keep pushing the damage through. Oh my god, Play Once a Week, I think have just gotten themselves back into this game. C-Nana gonna be eliminated. Mr. Cynical taking the kill, and the Baron falls into the hands of Southampton. We thought this game was over, but somehow they come out ahead.
And Baron giveth and Baron taketh away, and it looks like a massive overstep from Blade of the Ruined Kings.
really just underestimated their opponents, but
Well, speaking of underestimating, Tilted by the Gods gonna rain a little bit on that last parade. Even 2v1, a little bit of a struggle. Ag flashes in, ult comes out, and there's the kill confirmed. Doesn't even die. Maple Wings gonna be frustrated. One auto attack separated. A little bit of a sour ending to that whole Baron play.
really have to ask what Spiffy's doing. Both summoners up there when he got killed here. I mean, they make the play, they get the Baron, they get a ton of gold in return, but you really shouldn't be able to get picked out by the Jaeger as a Tristana. You have so much mobility, and you had your summoners, so playing without respect there, you had the... I mean, this is going to give time for Blade of the Ruined Kings to get control of the game again. They still have a solid front line, they still have a gold lead, but definitely looking like there's a lot more of a chance to play once a week.
Yeah, well, I'm Spiffy, starting to build up some of those crit chance items to be able to actually be a damage threat. Of course, nowhere near where Winnable is right now as far as just the raw cash in hand, but at least becoming more of a presence in these fights, and certainly a heck of a lot more mobile on the Draven than Tristana would be.
Yeah, I think he's just playing it quite well. I think you need 3.5 items Spiffy before he can cut through these tanks, and then you need to do that. He just needs to hit the front line and shred through them, but looks like pushing mid's going to come from Blade of the Ruined Kings. They are going to go for the inhib, but you know, they are against a team with Baron, and they are going to take a lot of poke here for this.
Double stun does land, but Enna in a lot of trouble, has to get out. Tempered Fate buying the moment. Triple, no, quadruple knockup comes through. Damage pouring out. Mr. Cynical gets the killing spree. Winnable is still up, but double kill comes out. Play once a week. Gonna try and turn this one around again. Ultimate comes down just in time, but it may not even make the difference. Frankenstein's cat going to be taken out. Play once a week, are back in this game, the resets coming through. I'm Spiffy pouring out, the damage goes in once again, and Winnable BTW can't even get a look in.
And they are going to be rewarded for this play by getting a tower mid lane, and they will continue to push. Huge wave bot so they could rotate to that after this as well. Really a massive overstep by Blade of the Ruined Kings. They went into that feeling confident, feeling like they had the advantage, but they stepped too far forwards and they ended up in a choke, and the Malzahar and the Barge did work, as well as the Riven. So much AoE damage, so much lockdown, and they just gave the reset to the Tristana, and looks like they're going to lose their mid... No, they will give it the inhib. They might head towards bot, and I think this is a smart decision. They're looking for the standing gold on the map. They're taking this tower, and it's going to help put them in a gold lead. 2k gold ahead now.
Wow. I mean, talk about turnarounds. What a great match to end out week number 2 of the NUEL stream. Such an incredible comeback. If anything, it feels like just the sheer unlikeliness of that comeback contributed towards it happening in the first place.
And I think this is the thing. It's just, maybe that's what happened. It's just overconfidence. They felt like they weren't able to be challenged, and they went for the Baron play when they were low on HP, they were sitting on a lot of gold, and props to play once a week, they challenged on him, and they're now in a position where they're in control of the game. But the thing is, what can they do from here? Because realistically, they're not the greatest team to seize. They don't have a front line, and they have a big risk of being engaged on. This is the first time where they're in control of the game, and already Maple Wings might be caught out.
Spiffy looking to test all the damage, but the Frozen team will, the Glacial Prison even will go wide. Something I'm noticing here as well, I mean, you're talking about the lack of tanky presence. I'm just looking for these massive Pappy the Harpy plays as the second Cloud Drake is secured for Blade of the Ruined King. When those knockups come through, it's almost like a mini Malphite ultimate going through when Pappy manages to land themselves right in the heart of the Blade lineup.
That's the amount of damage that he can put out when he gets on Squishy, especially if he has follow-up. If a Malzahar Q gets everyone low, Riven's will obviously be an execute, can decimate, but looks like they'll go up mid.
And they're going to be in a little bit of peril help. Nice double stuns. These Maple Wing stuns have been crazy. Tempered Fate going to lock down 2 members. We've got the Cosmic Radiance coming in to try and lock out some of that damage. Pappy being chased off the back end. The inhibitor is wide open for the taking. Tilted by the gods. Going to get tilted off this planet. Inhibitor open for the taking, but the rest of the team coming in to try and stop it. Huge amount of damage coming out. C Nana and the rest of the team forcing Maple Wings into an awkward position, forced to run away. but the damage is still there. C-Nana and Spiffy and Winnable both trading kills, and it's ended up with 2 against 3. An incredibly bloody fight in front of the inhibitor.
Yeah, so back and forth there, but Draven's going to keep pushing up for more. Heal is on Spiffy, so can be used if he needs to, but looks like they're just going to be able to back off here.
Inhibitor is wide open. Blade of the Ruined Kings did hold on to their inhibitor after all of that. I don't know if Play Once Week can do anything about this.
Yeah, I think they should just give up the inhibitor here. Look like they're going to get damage on the turret. They just overstepped here.
Wow, though, there you go. The inhibitor still stands. I think they're going to be able to clear the minion wave. Mr. Cynical gets chewed out. You mentioned Lycos before. So much damage, even with relatively minimal items. Spiffy, oh my god, nearly gets annihilated.
Riven does have flash.
Wait a second, where did Enna come from? Bringing him to the back. Winnable, gonna get stunned up themselves, not tanky at all. And suddenly, Play Once a Week turn this whole ship round once again. Happy the Happy front lining for their AD carry, Spiffy down low. But the potential for catcher, I think, might have evaporated from the Ruined Kings. I might almost taught a lie there. The shockwave will go wide. The health bar's very low for Play Once a Week, but I think they might just have enough in the tank. Mr. Cynical able to dash away. No more shockwave. And Blade of the Ruined Kings hold the line. Both teams with amazing defenses.
Absolutely amazing play from Pappy the Harpy there. Dashed in front of the Urgot ult to save his AD carry. And such a back and forth there. Both sides trying to get advantages. I think one of the big misplays from Play Once Week is they didn't have the Riven Flash, and when the Bard ult came down, it didn't lock up the Taric. So as soon as they came out, they had the Bard ult ready to be channeled, and Riven wasn't able to make the impact. The tempo went in the favor of Blade of the Ruined Kings, but they over-pushed. Taric didn't respect the damage from Tristana, and the Malzahar TP came in clutch. But this has been so back and forth in both these teams. Both of them looking for picks, both looking to get items, and Bard ult just misses out there on catching out the Ori and the Taric.
Well, certainly chancing. Maple Wings taking those chances when they may present themselves. Baron is up once again. The Baron, the sight of Play Once a Week, managing to get back into this game. Maybe they want to try it one more time. There's the catch of Mr. Cynical, though, in a whole world of trouble. The Cosmic Radiance coming out. Cynical across the wall. Enna gonna be a little bit too far forward. I'm Spiffy, though, pouring out the damage. Enna gets the kill onto C-Nana. I'm Spiffy gonna get those resets. Hopping in across. Lycos down very low. Another reset comes through. Winnable blows up. Tilted by the gods. The only one left standing. Play Once a Week. Somehow, someway make it work. And now they've got an open inhibitor and a Baron to choose from.
Yeah, 30 seconds of the time is... I don't think they can end here, but they definitely get the inhib, and they should... I think the optimal thing would be look for the Baron after this, but they might try to push for more. Tristana now on the 4-item spike. Lord Dominic's regards shredding through this front line. And it looks like they are going to push on and look for the end, but they don't have a minion wave yet. Need a couple more seconds for it to come through. 8 seconds on Sejuani and Taric.
End up providing a little bit of extra minions. First Nexus Tower goes down. Will they go for a second? I think... No, maybe the... Pappy the Harpy needs to be a little bit careful here, hopping across. Whew, for a second there, I thought that could be game. Play Once a Week. Now ahead. Now have access to that Baron. Inhibitor goes down. Blade of the Ruined King in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but they need to get the recalls off here fast. Riven on the wrong side of the map does have TP though, but your Malzahar's at half HP. The threat of pushing so far, as we've seen before, is you can be punished when you retreat. So Blade of the Ruined Kings now looking to take control, might even start this Baron themselves.
That's true. A real big opportunity here for King's College to get back into the game. And it's just as you said. Teleport coming in, though. Quick reactions from Play Once a Week. Temper Fate catches 2. Ult coming down to suppress a 3rd. We've got the Cosmic Radiance to try and block off the plays, but it's only a few seconds. The Dazzle gonna buy some space, but Tilted by the Gods doesn't manage to make the play stick. Shockwave catches 3. I'm Scrippy is still up, though. Sorry, Spiffy. Frankenstein's cat taken out. The resets on the cards. Spiffy gonna go off here, and Mr. Cynical as well. Lycos, the only one left standing, does get the shutdown. Barrier comes out. Cynical waiting for the moment. Nearsighted, and Cynical surely finishes off the kill here. Here we go. The ace comes through, and with still multiple members of Play Once a Week standing one Nexus Tower away.
Yeah, TP is available for the Malzahar. He's going to TP in. Looks like they should be able to end the game here with 15 seconds. Got a lot of damage on his Graves, only one Nexus Tower, so...
It's still going to be a whole 10 seconds before anybody is up from the Blade of the Ruined King side. What an incredible game for both these teams. Play once a week? Well, apparently, it's the optimum amount of times to practice. Incredibly well done. And congratulations to both teams for a really well-played game.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, the highlight for me, I think Blade and Kings played really well in the early game. They had solid macro to get lead, and they knew what they were doing, but Play Once a Week just shown they were so much better at team fighting. Showed that Baron fight. Caracal came down. The entire Blade and Kings were invulnerable, but they weren't able to land a single thing on a Play Once a Week. They kited, they disengaged, they freed up some time, and they pushed back in, and they played it so well. Aina on this Malzahar pushing forwards, landing so much damage with the AoE, and he looked so low. He looked like he just suicided, used his Zonyas, bought more time for his team, and allowed Spiffy to get some to clean up. I think Spiffy has something to be desired. Questionable decision making a lot of times there, but certainly shows he knows how to team fight later in the game and started to shred through this tanks here. And I think that was a difference. Is that yes, Draven could hit squishies, but he didn't really get a chance to hit them, whereas Spiffy was just free hitting on these tanks, and once he got 4 items, he just shredded through them. And, you know, deservedly, Play Once a Week came through the win, and congratulations to Southampton Uni.
Alright guys, that will be it for our stream this evening. We will of course be back next week at the same time with more League of Legends. If you'd like to see more NUEL content, we've got CSGO on Monday and Overwatch on Thursday, so a lot of student action. Hopefully those games will be just as amazing as this last one in particular has been. My name is Peter Hartnold, joined by Orcs this evening. Orcs, do you have any final thoughts to take us into the night with?
Well played to both sides. I think both teams have definitely things they did well. Both teams have things they need to work on, and I think it's very early in NUEL, so I'd hope to see them resurge, having worked on their gameplay and ready to give a fight once again. So thank you for everyone tuning in. Yeah, it's Dan Orcs Harrison, Orcs_lol on Twitter if you'd like to hit me with a follow, and hope you've enjoyed the stream.
Oh, as a small note for any of you guys who are watching who are NUEL participants, if you would like to be a featured team on these streams, please do answer our questionnaires, which are in the Facebook groups. Looking to find out your team's story? Play Once a Week, one of those teams tonight, and incredibly well done. For now, good night and goodbye.